tasty. You guys have a treat, a tasty treat. Obi joining Joe.
Oh.
Right about now, because we'll be back at 2 o'clock.
So it's Joby.
It's Joby.
Okay.
Yeah, Joby Aviation.
Trade.
No idea what that's been doing today, but I can't beat that combo.
I'm out of here.
Peace. We've had this before. I guess
Yes.
this doesn't.
Yeah. I'm not going to do the boom, but what's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. It's your boy Joe. Next to me is my good friend Obi. What's going on, Obi?
Nothing much, man. How are you doing?
Good, man. We can't complain whatsoever. Ethereum, crypto space was moving over the weekend.
Almost all
We really like that. We're gonna wait for some people to weasel into the chat, taking that one from Sharif. But we had a pretty good day so far this morning. We won't complain, especially with the swing account, loving it. But let's see who we got in this in the chat there. Mr. Easy Street. Mr. Easy Street, what's going on, my friend? Passport Chaos. Who else do we got? Mash Mees, Jay Walkin. What's up, my friend? Travman, Other Zinc, Michael Burnett, Dorothy Mantooth is a saint. What's going on? Who else do we got in here? Big Rec. Big Rec, did I read that correctly? Are you a fan of the band? Love the band Big Rec. Good tunes over there. They are Canadian. Akios, Durango, What a Taker, Maximus, Demesimus, Maurilius, what's going on, my friend? Juggernaut. Who else do we got? Remy J82, Big Nephew, Grey Worm. Shout out to Game of Thrones. All right, so who else do we got? Why not? I love that saying. I've been going around saying, why not? It's my motto. Just do it, because why not? Gorv, what's up, brother? I've been looking for you all morning. Haven't seen you in the chat. Hope you've had a good weekend, my friend. We'll go through a couple more. Big Joel, we got Shane. Who else we got? Migraj. What's going on? Big Sky, Jojo, and the Corleone family. What's up, everybody? I hope everyone had a solid weekend. Welcome to Trader TV Live. And Monday morning, Sean's been putting on trades. Neil's been putting on trades. My guy Obi's been trading. We've been trading some Ethereum this morning. And now I'm currently short Bitcoin. What am I doing? I don't know. We'll talk about that here momentarily. We'll go over that trade. But let's pull up the old screen here. The stock was moving, the cryptocurrency was moving over the weekend, and I came in today, seeing some pre-market selling, wasn't in love with it, but hey, as soon as it breached the volume-weighted average price, we look to get involved in here. So always never enough shares, but it is what it is. We put the trade on. We did take a couple, so we're not going to complain about that. We enter, we add to this position. Boom, boom, boom. Works out. This was my all out, and this was a secondary trade. You can see that we are forming a bull flag in there. I get in at the lower end of the range, starts working in my favor. The volume slowly starts to stair step higher. Then we add a little bit more, and then we piece it out, and I did get stopped out about 30% of the remaining position on that one there, guys. So that's all of that I've been trading this morning, with the exception of me being in some short IBIT, giving this a lot of room here. But why am I short Bitcoin? May not be the best idea, because at the end of the day, the space is strong. And if it doesn't work out, I'll just hop out. No worries about that. This is where my stop's going to be. Start relatively small. If it does come all the way back up to this specific level and then reject it, I'll just hop out, get right back in, improve my average, and then maybe we'll get that move to the downside. But this is essentially what I'm playing off here, is this inverted hammer, increased volume print, and you can see it across the space. We have it on the likes of Ethereum as well. This is a big time. Why is it doing that? This is a big time volume print here, guys, so we want to keep an eye out on just in case it decides to sell. But if it's breached, watch out. This can go absolutely further to the top side, so keep an eye out on that. But here it is. Massive volume signature, inverted hammer at an extreme high. That's going to be correlated with this pre-market high as well, too. So keep an eye out on Ethereum breaking some key support levels and continuing to the south side. But Obi, my friend, what do you got going on?
Yes, sir. No, I've just been involved a little bit here with CoreWeave. CoreWeave was nice off of the open. I was actually looking for, I guess, selling to come in, and it did come in right off of the open. We clipped that 137, 136s pretty nicely for a drop down into 130, so caught that little piece, and it might have gotten a little anchored to the short, as when it came right back up, I kept on shorting all the way into 140s. But yeah, starting to slow down a little bit. You can see the market is coming down as well, so a little bit of a tailwind from the futures there. But CoreWeave's been pretty pretty strong, if I do so say myself. But if you look at it here on the daily chart, we're catching a little bit of a bid after some strong selling, after multiple days of strong selling. So let's take a quick look at the daily chart right here and take off some of these indicators right here so we can see it pretty clearly. You can see right here, back-to-back days where you have day 1, day 2, day 3 gap up happening here on CoreWeave and holding pretty strong. So holding that VWAP as of right now and holding opening prices. So this is the consolidation that I was watching, that 134, 135 area, and coming in on the day, we did kind of chop that around a little bit. 135s was that opening price, just shy of 135s actually, 134.80. And yeah, a bit of a shake and bake of the opening range, but holding above opening range as of right now. So short's not looking too great. That multi-day trend might be happening. It could just be that the selling that we had on that multi-day, as you can see here, is reverting pretty aggressively as we've seen over the past few days. So CoreWeave, can it get back all the way up to highs? I have no idea, but chopping around that 140 as of right now is what I have on watch. But nice little curl back up. We could not break back below 100. That was interesting. We could not break back below 100, and we're getting about a $40 bounce from those areas on CoreWeave. But these IPOs have been absolutely crazy.
Yeah, crazy, brother.
So some of the ones I'm watching from last week were Fly and Fig.
Yep.
We know how Fly's been doing. Fly on the daily. Let's just go to a 3-minute. Back-to-back selling after a pretty decent IPO day 1 there. Today is day 3, and some more selling coming in on the day on this stock here. So going to keep that one on watch. And Fig as well. Fig was about to break down its lows, but that 85, remember that was the opening price on Figma, and we've been kind of consolidating underneath that 85 since we broke a little bit below. So continue to have some of these IPO names on watch. But yeah, let me know in the chat what you guys are trading. There's lots of opportunity across the board in this market. I know a lot of people are watching Tesla as well. And Tesla, aggressive push off of the open. Didn't really keep eyes on it since then. So let's just refresh this page here. But Tesla could be an interesting push as it is breaking out of this consolidation we were talking about last week. Here, nice little breakout push on the day today. If this chart will load for me, I know there's some certain charting platforms maybe having some issues today. Oh, there it is. Here's some Tesla on the day today. So aggressive push off of the open. Since then, we've been kind of chopping and grinding to the upside here. Higher highs, higher lows as well. Maybe a little bit of a flat top push into this 343 area, Joe. So again, Tesla pretty strong on the day, but it seems like off of the open was the place to be on that one. Pretty chopped since.
Yeah. Tesla, I mean, it was a technical breakout. Did you see the daily on that? Yeah, so I've been keeping my eye on Tesla. It's kind of the same that we were experiencing on Apple as well, too. So you have some key resistance being broken, and then you have the downtrend on Tesla as well, too. That's been snapped. So way to be. We do have a super chat on the Rail TV. Check out Brian Pesham's book, How to Swing Trade. It's a game changer for me. If you have Prime, it costs nothing. I personally know Brian Pesham, and I know that group, too. Fantastic people. Yeah, read through all of those books as well. So shout out to those guys over there. So yeah, good friends of mine. There's no questioning that, because I'm sure you know where they're located. But yeah, Gore, pretty good stuff here. I mean, this is what we had cooked up on Ethereum this morning, and then now we're short some IBIT. We're going to take a look at Tesla's daily here momentarily. But I just mentioned that inverted hammer on Ethereum is dangerous. So you don't want to be going too heavily against that. And then here it is on Bitcoin, same thing. You have that inverted hammer signal with increased volume print. So that's when we look to get involved. I did try to get in fill right here. It didn't happen, so I just ended up punching. So the momentum picked up. You can see the volume picked up, but we're short. Double it up, and then now we're heading towards some key support levels here in IBIT, guys. So keep an eye out on that one. It's working out pretty good for us thus far. We're going to wait for this support level to be breached and then head towards the pre-market lows. But let's take a look at what Tesla's up to here, guys, on the daily, and why I believe it's broken out. I haven't even looked at Apple yet today, so just keep that in mind. I don't know why it's doing that. So just bear with me a moment. Uno momento, mi amigos. There it is. So 5 minute, we're going to break it down here. And then this is what we were talking about, guys. We've been going over this for quite some time. It's just look at the price compression. And then sure enough, now it's breached. You're on the backside of this trend and you're starting to continue to move higher. So that's a really, really good look in Tesla, and the same in the likes of Apple, right? So kind of identical patterns, even though one's more or less a wedge, it's just the breaching of key resistance zones. And then you get the continuation in that direction, all right? So where is my AAPL? What has it been up to today? So inside day, but the volume really picking up here, guys. And that's what you want to see as you're breaking through some key resistance levels. So there you go. You're building a factory in the States. The street likes that. Now, I think with Apple, a couple things need to happen, right? So I've just been doing a lot of research, been watching a lot of videos on what's going on. So essentially what some analysts are saying, there's a 0% chance. And the analyst that I'm referring to is obviously one of the biggest tech bulls of all time. That's going to be Dan Ives. Dan Ives is saying that there's essentially a 0% chance that Apple is not going to get this AI thing right internally. So they're looking for a path to, I don't know if they're looking, but he suggests that, hey, you guys need to start acquiring some outside talent and get that Perplexity deal done before it's too late. Now, obviously, Apple can benefit from AI in multiple ways, not necessarily having to be the leader in that space. But there's some things that they can do to play catch up. They are multiple years behind, but identical patterns here, Obi. Breakthrough resistance on AAPL, breakthrough resistance on Tesla. So some good moves in the tech space for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Again, got to keep those ones on watch. Whenever I'm watching some of these tech names, have you seen AMD on the day today? AMD going absolutely crazy here. So that's what I was looking at a little earlier as that bid came in pretty aggressively. That continuation, right? So yeah, Nvidia was on my watch today with some of that chip tariff news as well. But AMD, you can see that pre-market trend and holding up really well here on the day. An aggressive bid all the way from 170s to almost 179 on AMD, and still holding the upper quartile of its move on the day. So I'm watching that. It's holding that prior week, not necessarily prior week high, but middle of the week consolidation highs are coming in and around 176s, 177s ish, and that's what we're trading at as of right now here on AMD. So that's what I got on watch as of right now in terms of chip names. But yeah, I wanted this. This is a little bit of a reversion candidate. You know what I like to do here. This is a little extended on the day. We did break that trend from the morning bid in and around 178s, 177s, only trading about $1 away from that as of right now. But with a name like this and with the way it's consolidating above prior week's consolidation highs as of right now, I do want to be a little bit wary on this one and not really be too, I guess, antsy for the reversion back into VWAP. Sure, it could come in, but if we're holding prior week structure that well after some aggressive strength in the morning, it's only 11 o'clock. It's only been a couple of hours since we've opened. So yeah, I got to be a little bit more patient with this one, Joe. Nice. But yeah, no, let me know in the chat. What are you guys watching? Zach in the chat saying Nvidia with a big green candle. Yeah, maybe. You can see that it's been trying to hold that VWAP. It's holding VWAP pretty well on the day and holding higher highs and higher lows here as that structure steps up. 180.25's day low, 181.5 step up, and then 182.5 step up as of right now. But VWAP sitting on 182. So yeah, some interesting stuff here. Let's see what else you guys talking about. Intel, yeah, Intel's kind of doing its own thing. I do have eyes on this one as well. And last I checked, it's going absolutely crazy, doing its own thing as Intel tends to do. We know that what's his face? The CEO is going to sit down with Trump at some point today, and we can see that crazy push. Yeah, I was actually back at my desk. I was looking at this breakout, and oh boy, wow. 60 pennies off of that 21 break. Absolutely crazy, breaking past some of these highs that we made last week. So yeah, a little bit of a CEO meeting with the president happening at some point today. So Intel might be something to keep an eye on. It's already starting to work and push a little bit to the upside through that high-day break and holding some of those prior week levels on the gap up in the pre-market this morning. So yeah, a lot of these chip names, man, definitely had them on watch. But yeah, no, good job getting involved with some of the crypto-related names, because that was a big miss on my part. I totally missed that one there. But we know ETH is obviously pushing those 4,000. We might see that 5 very soon.
Yeah,
the way it's building up.
I think so. Yeah. On the trajectory that we're on, I agree with you on that one. 100% there, Obi. I think that's the objective. Could be possibly undervalued right now. Getting squeezed here on Bitcoin. One thing to note is that at least the volume's starting to cool off, and we're still forming some lower highs, so that's something positive. But yeah, Obi, as for Ethereum, I think there's a lot of room for this to run here, considering what's been going on. People grabbing this hand over fist now, kind of just adopting what Michael Saylor's been doing over there at Strategy, and it's been working out really, really well. The difference is that Ethereum can generate a yield as well too, right? So Adara brought to us this morning that BitMine, or BMNR, I think that's what it's called, BitMine, essentially holds over $4.3 billion in Ethereum. And last time I checked, which was last week, to be honest with you, Tom Lee was saying that, hey, yeah, we own roughly around $3 billion, so that's drastically increased, unless he was just undervaluing exactly what they have. But essentially what that brings, and what he was leading to, is that, hey, we have the ability to generate $100 million in net income just from the yield and staking Ethereum alone, not even the appreciation from Ethereum itself. So that's something really, really positive, and drove me to what's going on. Aside from the Genius Act, obviously that's going to benefit as well too. JPM is putting their stablecoin on the Ethereum network, and it's just kind of the preferred blockchain for Wall Street if everything is going to become digital, like tokenized, I should say. So yeah, that's why I'm going to get involved in this name, and I'm going to stay for it for a while. My swing trade is doing really, really well. We don't want to get too ahead of ourselves on that one, but I plan on holding this for the foreseeable future. I'm going to see how long I can hold it for. 5K, 5.5K would be an ideal primary target on that one, and we'll display what we got cooking up on that one. But Bitcoin, I might even add a little bit more here so you can see that we're short. Added to that position, we failed to establish a new high, and I mean, when things are working out, you just got to continue just shooting that ball. If you play basketball, shooting the puck, whatever sport you favor. That's what we're going to continue to do here, Obi. If it decides to squeeze, then so what? We got some Ethereum. We're not going to complain about that, and I would prefer for Bitcoin to continue to climb higher. I don't want this thing to sell off, right? It's one of my largest holdings, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, we like what we're seeing so far. But Obi, what'd you do over the weekend? Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, just kind of like chilled out, nothing too crazy.
Nice.
Just went over some scans.
Same.
Just excited for a little bit of earnings this week.
Yep.
We should have some interesting names, and yeah, just studied up on some of the moves from last week as well.
Nice.
Yeah. Some crazy volatility. Some of the legs that we've been getting on the market, some of these reversions that have been happening, absolutely beautiful.
You love it.
So
yeah.
I kind of looked into some of those, and yeah, just rest and relaxation, man.
Nice. Yeah, hit up Taco Fest for those who are familiar.
Where was that?
I forget what park it is, but it's like right beside my house, essentially, right there. Yeah. I don't want to say. It's definitely not Downsview. I forget what park it's at. But anyways, yeah, right beside the Strawn Bridge. You know where the exhibition is?
Yeah.
Right across the street. There's a little park there. Yeah, I always walk around there. I'm surprised I don't even know the name of it. But yeah, that was a good time. Ridiculously expensive.
There a lot, like exhibition place.
Yeah. Well, that's my path. Yeah, that's where I run all the time.
Nice,
Every
nice
weekend.
And quiet, nothing too crazy. Yeah.
Plan on doing so this evening as well too. Nice and hot. Get a nice sweat going and try to get that workout. But yeah, we're still short this year. You're still short CoreWeave as well too, Obi. Nice look there. But yeah, other than that, Robinhood put in a nice indecision print right at the volume weighted average price here, guys. So boom, continuing to climb higher. So that's a positive sign. Neil mentioned this earlier. I believe it was in the pre-market where it hit that all-time high. So yeah, we love that. Some of the names just working out really, really well. And I mean, there's not too much for headwinds on what we got going on. We got CPI coming out tomorrow, so that's going to be interesting as well. And then I think come September, one thing that I was thinking about too is just kind of just reestablishing from a swing standpoint a position back into Bitcoin for that basis point, whatever, if it's 25 or 50 bips. I think that Bitcoin's going to have the opportunity to run to the top side and maybe even breach those all-time highs. So we like that. But other than that, Obi, Ethereum and Bitcoin is the name of my game, especially with the space running over the weekend. We like it very much.
Yeah, did you take any trades in the personal in terms of crypto or anything like that?
Oh yeah. I'm
trading some coins.
Yeah. Well, I about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, I opened up a position on ETH.
Nice.
So yeah, as soon as that Genius Act was cleared, and the green light was given. I'm like, boom, 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 boom. Nice. Started building a position into that, average into it. Average price is around 27.70, which is nice. And yeah, so we grabbed a nice little bit about it. And that's what I was referring to. I'm honestly just looking to hold this one for an extended period of time, considering what's going on.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think I was looking at the ETH chart over the weekend, and I'm like, yeah, this one finally starting to go. Let's see how far it can get, kind of coming into some of those prior highs there.
That's what I got there, Obi. Can you see?
Let's see. Okay, nice.
Yeah. So we've been rocking and rolling.
Yeah, that's in the. Okay, cool. Yeah, nice.
So yeah, we've been.
Somebody in the chat there. Let's see. We have a super chat right here by WJ Larson. Don't forget SBET, way better MNAV than BM. And yeah, let's take a quick look at SBET. I already have it open here. Sharp Link Gaming right here. So 28.25 high a day, pulling back into VWAP right here, but holding this stair step. We see that we've been trending up pretty nicely, and it's holding up pretty well on the day here. But I think we'll be right back from Madeira.
I don't know if
Sorry, just keep an eye here on MSFT GitHub, which is, of course, owned by MSFT, Microsoft. Apparently, their CEO is planning to step down, according to a report from Axios. Apparently, Microsoft will not be naming a direct replacement, but GitHub leadership will instead be reporting to multiple Microsoft executives. Back to you.
Yeah, anything else you got cooking up there, Obi? Still just chilling in that CoreWeave?
Yeah, so just holding on to this CoreWeave, just letting it consolidate. That 140 seems a little interesting, so we'll see what it does in and around there. But I know I'm a little bit counter trend on the higher time frame, so I'm watching it pretty close here. But yeah, no, SBET coming in pretty nicely here. We had a little bit of a shake and bake in the pre-market. I don't know what news this was in the pre-market, but it seems like it didn't really. It got digested pretty well in the open market as we reverted all that move. Consolidate on top of the reference high, and then take another leg a little bit higher, only to pull back for a nice little mean reversion back into the same area here on SBET. So good look on that one there. So yeah, thank you WJ Larson for pointing that one out on SBET. Yeah, no. What was the other one? There was one more that we were looking at as well. Nvidia, we took a look at that one. AMD, have eyes on that one. BBAI and SoFi, maybe a little bit of Lilly as well. Okay, let's take a quick look at those ones for you guys. SoFi, I know it's been on people's radar over the last week or so, but last week we did kind of consolidate pretty tightly and getting some aggressive push on the day today. So yeah, doing some relative volume over 1.4 and breaking out of prior week's highs. That's Friday, Monday. Yeah, there you go, right there. Prior week's high coming in at 22.59. Take a look at that 22.59 once we come in on the day. Pretty clean push. Pull back, hold, continuation, holding that VWAP pretty nice here on SoFi as well. BBAI, let's take a quick look at this one here and see what our friend Big Bear AI is up to. I know a lot of involvement in this one across the board. And it seems like it's consolidating for the past month or so. I know July we kind of slowed down on the aggressive bid that we'd been getting, and pretty much sideways since then. Holding that $6 level, I like that. But on an intraday, nothing too crazy. Sure, we're doing some relative volume on the day 3 times in the pre-market, so maybe poised for a little bit of a push of some of these highs. That prior high coming in at $7.41, but not really going to get involved with this one. I don't really have necessarily a setup on this one that I really like just yet. People are saying, get it, Google. Okay, Juan, let's take a quick look at Google here and see what that one's up to. Wow, 100% reversion of the flush off of the open. So nice little V-shape, that bid coming back in. And a high a day is currently 201.40. He's only about 30 pennies away from that. Oh boy, might be poised for a little bit of a push. Google was absolutely solid prior day. I liked this push off of 198. This was a higher time frame breakout, and it seems like we're holding a little bit higher with a base of 199.07. That's the day low as of right now, kind of chopping that 200 mark, man. Yeah. So yeah, I was like last week, remember I was like, oh, 200 might be a little bit of an options level as well.
Yeah, I sent you that. Did you see? Yeah,
it makes sense that it'll wash and kind of deal with some orders in and around this 200 before it gets going. Upside, downside, no idea, but definitely a little bit of a pit stop it's having here at 200 on Google.
Yeah, for sure. Good point there, guys. And let's break this down here. I haven't even really looked at the mag today, with the exception of Tesla, just because of considering the breakout, what we were talking about earlier. So I'm like, okay, let me keep my eyes out on this one. I did miss a couple of the opportunities, but that's okay. As long as you guys are taking advantage of them, that's all that really matters to me. Joey Options, Parth Padkler. Sorry if I mispronounced your name there, my friend. Joey Options, I'm holding 360 Tesla calls from open. Bang. That's what we want to see. Print that money, my guy. Let's go. That's exactly what we want to see on that. But here, I want to display something to you guys. I'm going to pull up NVDA here so we can just take a look at it and see what's going on, right? So it was strong earlier in the morning, but one thing I want to note is let's keep our eyes out on some of the open interest here. Havana, Pug Life, I haven't seen Los Police in a while. Gorev, Juan, Padilla, all the regulars, guys who are trading options, and our Chef Joe, all the individuals who are really good at trading options. I know you guys are always looking at call walls and put walls as well too, and you can just see what we have identified, right? So they report on the 26th or the 27th of August, I believe. And there it is, 185. So we went over the concentration last week, and you've seen that being rolled over to this week. I'm gonna expect that position, or these positions, to be continuously rolled over, leading into that earnings report. Okay, so that's really important to note. And if it does stay around that 185 level, then we might follow for a rejection of 185, all right? So just keep that in mind. The options market can tell us a lot leading into the reports, but also if we do end up on the backside of it and we get that squeeze, come the following session open, watch out, right? There's a couple scenarios that can happen. Either you continue the gamma squeeze, or you start to see the hedgies really push price down south of that specific strike price. And that's why we look for these concentrations of open interest to base trades off of them, all right? So, yeah, that's what we got going on. Thank you, Flando. Very much appreciate it, obviously being slightly sarcastic on that one. But Adara, what do you got for us?
Keep an eye here on MSOS, fluctuating pretty hard here. Donald Trump saying that he is apparently looking at reclassifying marijuana. This comment, of course, coming after that Wall Street Journal article that suggested he was maybe considering reclassifying marijuana as well. So it sounds like he's actually just said here that he is considering this reclassification. We also have a Bullish IPO and watch. I'm seeing apparently this company's IPO, which is set to happen on Wednesday, will be well overprescribed after upsize. And apparently they're going to stop taking orders at 4 p.m. today. Back to you.
One last thing before I send it back to our boy Obi here. Coin, you guys want to take a look at Coinbase? I mentioned before, right? So you can see identical patterns that were formed on the likes of Robinhood and here on Coinbase. So you had a 34% drop from that trough to from that peak to the trough here, guys. So just keep that in mind. I think that this name is going to be just fine. It's always been volatile, right? It's part of its nature, but now you're starting to see somewhat of a recovery off of these lows here on this pivot low. So 292 up to where we're currently trading at is 13%, right? So that's still a decent move. I like Coinbase. And then here, look, we're still holding this trend line relatively well. Once you've breached and held this gap, watch for a move to fill it. Right, so that's a pretty good look there on Coin. And then from an intraday standpoint, you can see it just continuously grinding higher. A lot of overlapping candles here, though, Obi.
Yeah, for sure. I got to keep some of those on watch. And that MSOS news was interesting as well. It kind of came out maybe over the weekend, but I was reading about it this morning. And yeah, some of the marijuana space catching a little bit of volatility there on that news. So yeah, MSOS was definitely on watch by not just me, but a few traders that I know. But yeah, going to continue keeping on watch to see how that news kind of unfolds. But as of right now, I think we got crypto with Adara.
BMNR falling off a little bit, but great look here for Bitmine Immersion Technologies. sure a lot of you guys are definitely following this stock. It is a pretty popular one with retail investors, and for very good reason. This is, as far as I'm aware, the largest corporate holder of Ethereum, and their holdings apparently are worth nearly $5 billion after ETH spiked above that $4,000 level. So great look here for BMNR. Another name in the same space is SPET or SBET, as it's often referred to, that is Sharplink Gaming. This one, and also had a really great push here off the open. So these Ethereum treasury strategies certainly in play. And here's the chart of Ethereum itself. As you can see, a bit of a bull flag here on the daily chart, currently trading around just below that 4,300 level. Let's take a look at BTC, because we know that this one actually had a spike into all-time highs, making a tail as of right now slightly just below that previous all-time high, around 123,000. Currently here, intraday high 122,300. So again, about $1,000 away from that most recent all-time high. Let's see if we're able to continue to push higher, or if this actually is just a lower high in Bitcoin story. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, Adira. As for Ethereum, fantastic stuff. We were talking about BitMine not too long ago, how as soon as Tom Lee joined the board there, it went from $4 to where it's currently trading at is absolutely absurd. But now that Adira mentioned that we have over $4 billion in Ethereum, the yield that also generates, making it a positive treasury, and that's where you can see the continuous appreciation within Ethereum and in BMNR. So those are some pretty good looks there. We like what's going on in the crypto space, most definitely there, Obi.
Yeah, I think let me know what you guys are trading in the chat, and when it comes to some of these crypto names, because I know there's a lot of different vehicles, and everyone looks for that Bitcoin or ETH sympathy, and we know the best places to find that are on some of the ETFs, but some place to not find that is going to be on one of the brokers like a Coinbase or a Robinhood, or something like a miner like Mara or Riot as well. You want to watch out for some of those, because it might not give you the same kind of sentiment, same kind of move that the crypto is doing right away, right at this moment. You have to understand that their business model is slightly different than just, I guess, having the same move as crypto, as ETH or Bitcoin at the same time. It's not necessarily a sympathy in the sense of it moves like a one-to-one. That's what you want to be looking at IBIT for. That's what you want to be looking at ETHA for as well. But yeah, ETHU. See people talking about in the chat. ETHU, nice, good stuff. XRP long hold. I like that. I like some XRP. BTBT. I remember that one. That's a miner I haven't heard of in a very long time. So yeah, a lot of different ones that you can potentially be in. BITX call option saying trendline tycoon. So oh boy, that's a nice one as well there. So yeah, thanks for VVPR for XRP. Let's take a quick look at VVPR. That one's rings a bit of a bell. VVPR, is that Vivo Power? Yeah. Are these guys now a holding company as well, another crypto reserve? Let's see what they do, because I know they were doing sustainable or some sort of energy thing. Yeah, is a sustainable energy solutions company which engages in the customers with turnkey decarbonization solutions that enable them to achieve net zero carbon stats. Okay, cool, nice. Nothing to do with crypto, but I guess maybe they have some sort of relation with XRP. I guess that's what someone in the chat is saying. I have to take a quick look at that one and see if there's any sort of relation to XRP on VVPR. So it's really funny, kind of almost marking an interesting time in. I guess you can definitely call it a bit of a bubble, right? It's like all these random companies are just like, oh, we're just going to hold some sort of crypto or altcoin now, and then they're moving and catching a bid on it. See, I wasn't really around during the .com boom, but it smells a little bit like that, because like any random company would put a .com behind their name and then all of a sudden catch a bid or and build some sort of base and structure. We've seen that happen on some of these companies that are like, oh, you know, we're becoming a reserve now, or a Litecoin reserve, or whatever, you know, BS coin reserve. But it's just like, all right, well, you can kind of code it any way you want. But at the end of the day, it does smell very similar, where you're just trying to catch a bid.
You think so?
And ride the coattail of some of the. Yeah, of course. Because at the end of the day, you got to remember.
It's a bubble?
Well, I think for sure we're overextended. Now that bubble can continue to push until we have some sort of compression or some sort of mean reversion, right? But regardless of what it is, I'm saying these are some of the symptoms, I feel like, of a bubble where just random companies that have nothing to do with the space start just attaching crypto to their name and catching a little bit of a bid. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you have to remember what the stock market is. The stock market is just a tool for companies to raise capital for their business expansion. So it's just like, if you remember that at the end of the day, sure, it's going to be beneficial for the company if they can raise their stock price and then do offerings so they can raise more money. They're just playing the game, right? So you got to understand how that game is.
You got to read the crypto book, Bubble or Revolution.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good book. I actually enjoyed that read. Really good stuff in that one. So go check that one out as well if you're interested in just obviously diving a little bit more in depth on what we got going on with the crypto space. But I'm going to add something to that. To be honest with you, I don't know if it's necessarily a bubble. I agree with you on the fact that, now that considering we have the companies like GameStop who are adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet, but I think there's a little bit more substance to it. You're getting more regulatory clarity, obviously, with the Genius Act. Of course, that's something positive. And then you also have some of these institutions just grabbing this stuff hand over fist. For me, I wasn't around in the dot-com bubble, but what I'm aware of is that they went into the debt markets, and I'm not too sure some of these companies necessarily have to, especially the tech names, right? Obviously, Michael Saylor continuously doing offerings to raise more Bitcoin, but you also see his unrealized gains as well too, which is something very, very substantial, and I think it adds a little bit more substance to what we got going on, and the fact that Ethereum actually generates a yield as well too, right? You're aware of the staking that goes on with Ethereum. So for me, that's positive. And then when I hear that everybody wants to get involved with Ethereum just due to the blockchain, the second largest in the crypto space, then sure, why not? The SEC pushing for Wall Street to move the whole financial market onto the Ethereum blockchain as well too, to tokenize everything. So, I mean, I love this space for the foreseeable future, and I believe we're just in the early stages of it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we got coming up in the next couple of years. I'm sure that things are going to be amazing. And Bitcoin only halved in 2024, right? So we got to wait till 28. For the next halving, which I believe, which is still a ways away. And usually the latter half is the stronger half in Bitcoin as well too. So
what do you mean, like the latter half of the
halving? So in year 3 and 4 is when you start to see Bitcoin move more aggressively, opposed to the first couple of years of that specific halving cycle. That's just what I've read up on. To be true, well, we'll find that out. I'm sure there's data that you can find out on that as well. So I'm only going to give this to 68.45 here, Obi. Once it hits that, I'm going to stop out, and then I'll just have the ability, if it does want to curl over, I'll just have the chance to get a much better price. But what Ethereum's doing right now, it doesn't look like that we're gonna get that or experience it. It's really, really strong. Rusty, you said it couldn't move without Bitcoin. It's moving relatively well without Bitcoin here. Once we blow out this top, watch out. I think 33 can be in the works, and even a little bit north of that there, Obi.
Yeah, I think that's a decent plan. Just using some of that structure to kind of define some of those areas there as well. But I'm not really seeing too much else. I'm involved with what I want to be involved in. Tesla's still pushing to the upside. Oh my God, what's up with this one right here? So Tesla, look at this one on the 15-minute, dude. It's just a nice, steady, choppy grind. Like, it's holding up so well in terms of trend, but anything on a shorter time frame, you look at this chop up, chop, 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 chop. We was talking about this a little bit of a flat top break, maybe a little bit of a flag happening here, and we're getting a grinding bid happening through the breakout of that flag. So, oh boy, indeed. Apple pushing for its high day as of right now, so that's coming in. AAPL, if that can come in right here as of right now, not really happening, not really loading too well. So you know what, it is what it is. I'm gonna load it up here on my screen, Apple on the Nasdaq. And And there it is. So there you go right here. So coming into high of day here on Apple as we push a little bit higher. So nothing too crazy in terms of market sympathy, but it is doing something distinctly different. The market is pushing to the downside. Consolidation lows are testing on both the Qs and the ES, and you can see Apple distinctly different here, pushing into its highs. So Google as well. Let's take a quick look at some of these Mag 7s and see what they're up to. Google sideways action, nothing too crazy on that one. Tesla's printing fresh highs as of right now. Softy, maybe a little bit of a push there, higher highs and higher lows, but currently taking a bit of a pullback here as of right now. On Softy. Amazon is looking weak as well, man. Amazon giving up some of its pre-market levels as well as end of week levels as well. We see that Friday's consolidation low was this triple twos. You can see those triple twos holding pretty well as some resistance and maybe some confluence with that VWAP as well, coming in at 22160. So pretty weak on the day is Amazon. And yeah, so Nvidia, nothing too crazy. Again, chips definitely on watch today with some of that tariff news, and the chips maybe getting what was it, 15% I think tariff or something like that. Nvidia was on watch, but we're still trading within that opening range, so nothing too crazy as of right now. Here on NVDA. Let's take a quick look at SMH and then AMD as well. So SMH, nothing too crazy. AMD still holding near its high. So, oh boy, definitely relatively strong when it comes to some of these chip names. Micron I had on watch as well. They raised guidance in the pre-market. That was an aggressive push all the way from 120s to 125s. And then we get a bit of a lick grab of those highs. 127.28 was the highest we could push off of the open, only to sell off and holding VWAP here as a bit of resistance as well. So yeah, interesting stuff. Some of these chip names, not like the others. AMD and Micron were definitely top of my list, but didn't really get involved with them. I'm looking for the next trade. What are you guys up to? Tesla continues to push higher. 345 halves is now the high of day on Tesla, man. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Remember, I believe the previous quarter, you and I were talking a little bit about MU, just how it moves. It's just like, it's just one of those names, and
crazy.
It's just a really tricky ticker to navigate for me personally. I did like the bull flag that it was forming this morning, but just from my past experiences, I've never had too much success trading MU. It's just a funky trader, so something going on behind the scenes there, maybe, possibly. I don't know. Maybe I just suck at trading it. Well, I'll probably go with the latter half on that one. So, I mean, Casino Man was trading it pretty well this morning, but for me, I was just totally avoiding it. Looking at BMNR, how does this thing go from $56 to $67? Man, shout out to my friend Brian Martinez, or I shouldn't have said his name, but anyway, shout out to him. It's all right. They have no idea where he is, so I don't know why. But anyway,
full name. Yeah, full name.
That's crazy.
Shout out to
his address too. Probably shouldn't have done that, but oh well. Don't bother him or anything like that. He's doing good for himself, considering that he's been trading this one for some time, and you can see that from $32 all the way up to $67. So, I mean, we're already at 100% return here on BMNR in the past 3 sessions, right? So from last week. Why do you got to do this to me? Let's see. Okay, anyways, I'm trying to get a percentage metric for you guys. Oh, there it is. So just a little bit more, right? So that wasn't that accurate, but yeah, there it is, right? So some really good looks. And I mean, as it started to curl over, I'm like, there is some good opportunities to get involved in this name here. So yeah, BMNR I think it's going to continue to the top side, considering the yield that they can generate from the amount of Ethereum they've allocated. Tesla's starting to form somewhat of a topping signal here. Gorev, you can see the volume really kick up. You don't want it to close like this, otherwise we might be moving to the downside. And I might think for sure, but I don't want to go against you, obviously, as well, too. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, other than that, Ethereum, Bitcoin are my shorts on the day. Bitcoin breaks 68.45. I'm out of this one. But there you go. Starting to turn around here in Tesla. Never got that momentum that we were looking to the top side necessarily. More or less a slow grind, a lot of overlapping candles. But Adara, what do you got for us?
Donald Trump here being asked about the AMD and Nvidia chips that are now being allowed potentially to sell in China with that 15% US, or I guess 15% payment there to the U.S. 15% of the sales are supposed to be sent to the U.S. That was reported by the Financial Times. When Trump was asked about it, he clarified that they're not sending the, quote, super duper advanced chips like Blackwell. They're only going to be sending chips like H20, which Trump posits China already has, maybe, if not in that form, another similar form. So some commentary here on Nvidia and AMD right now, specifically Nvidia, with Donald Trump also praising CEO Jensen Huang. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah,
you got to watch out when the president's talking, and especially when some of these chips are in play. I'm going to keep an eye out for AMD. We know that AMD is already kind of pushing towards its highs. So AMD right away is going to go on my watch and see if it catches a little bit of a breather. We've already had a pretty strong bid coming into this. 178's consolidation highs, 177. So nice little tight consolidation. But the thing is, we're consolidating near high a day, right? That's the issue here on AMD. Kind of let's see if that consolidation breaks one way or the other. That's what I'm waiting for here on AMD. But that's strength, man. Absolutely crazy. Catching a very, very strong bid. So maybe it's time to get with the trend here on AMD, maybe. But when things overextend like this, man, I'm always so skeptical as to like how much further is it going to go. But always got to be patient for the right kind of structure to form, and we got to be patient for it to tell you what it's what it wants to do, right? You got to be listening to the chart and the price action there. What's up there?
More NVIDIA commentary here from President Donald Trump. He said that he has a feeling that Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA, is going to visit him soon to ask if they can send Blackwell to China. Trump said they're not going to be able to send Blackwell, but they could send a slightly less advanced version of Blackwell potentially to China. So NVDA popping here into highs before pulling back a little bit again. President Donald Trump indicating that should Jensen Huang approach him about selling the Blackwell chip in China, they might be able to have some kind of compromise where NVIDIA sends a less developed Blackwell chip to China. Back to you.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. Thank you for that. Yeah, you're still sitting in that CoreWeave short there, Obi. I haven't even seen what that's been up to.
Nothing. It's doing nothing.
Is doing nothing? Okay, nada, doing nada. So yeah, you trimmed 25% there. Gaurav, if there's anything specific that you guys want to go over, we'll obviously we'll go through some of our expected moves later on the day and then correlate that with what we see on the options chain. That's going to be lots of fun as usual. I love doing that. And then we're just going to be trading. It seems like a crypto day for me, to be honest with you. If we look at the Qs and the S&P, not doing a whole lot. So let's get involved in some things that are moving, and I think that's going to be a BMNR. Super, super strong. It opens up around $58, trades to a high of around 69 there. And then you can see that we knocked on the door of this prior resistance on Ethereum and no one answered. So we're rejecting that one, heading back down the hall into the elevator, maybe back towards VWAP. Tesla pulling back in as well too. I told Gaurav, hey, keep an eye out on this signal. This could potentially signify that, hey, we're not going to climb any higher. But it also can say, hey, we are going to, and once it breaches the top side, I would suspect that you're going to see a little bit higher price appreciation. But look at the Nas and the Qs, right? I mean, we're in the dog days of summer right now, of August. Things usually tend to cool off a little bit before we run into the cooler months, and you get that kind of that Christmas rally, the pre-Christmas rally. So just keep in mind, guys, a lot of choppy sideways, and as long as we don't dump like 3, 4, 5%, I think we'll be okay. I mean, 3% isn't horrible, but you don't want to see those larger sell-offs necessarily. But again, I think it's going to be a solid opportunity to buy as well, too, guys, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'm just getting involved in dips. Let's see what Bitcoin's up to if it wants to break down. So far, my VPA signal is holding up relatively well on the short side, and I'm glad that I didn't take anything short on Tesla. Obviously, my boy Gaurav's along that, so I don't like going against other individuals. But at the end of the day, we got to trade and see what setups we have going on. But other than that, Ethereum was definitely the better trade of the day for me, Sharif.
Nice.
Or Sharif. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing, man. It doesn't matter if you're going against someone. The trade is the trade. If you think the trade is there, then the trade is there, right? It's like sure, you can talk about like reading it one way or the other way is a little different. But if you think the trade is there, dude, just take the trade. Who cares? It's irrelevant what someone else's position is. The market doesn't care about the average, about what the average is. or what your position is. At the end of the day, if you're able to see what it's doing and you're like, all right, with a decent chunk of probability, I think it's going to do this, or it's telling me that it's going to do this, and I think it's definitely well worth at least dabbling a little bit and spending some risk on that as well. But oh boy, Tesla's so strong, man. It's doing that breakout on the higher time frame, and it's doing it really, I guess, in a very choppy manner, I'd say. But bigger picture, if you go just move up to the 30-minute candle, 30-minute chart, or even an hourly chart, you can see how cleanly the breakout is happening there on a higher time frame. So yeah, coming in pretty nicely. Here's a bid coming in on the markets as well, but within this opening range here on the Nasdaq, and maybe a little bit stronger of a push here on the ES as we maybe attempt to push and break this downtrend that we've been having all day long on the ES. But yeah, in terms of the Mag 7s, like I said before, Apple's the only one that's showing some aggressive strength there, almost 100% reversion, and then similar with Google, Tesla being the strongest one out of them, and maybe Softy as well, catching a little bit of a bid. Higher highs and higher lows is the bigger picture kind of trend on the day today. So let me know in the chat what you guys are trading. You're talking about ETH, people talking about Meta as well. I'm not really watching Meta that closely, but we can take a quick look at that one. I have AMD, like I said, on watch, but AMD still consolidating sideways. Let's take a quick look at Meta here. Yeah, Meta, what a chop fest on this one, man. Absolutely crazy. Sideways action. This range coming in from 766 to 773.50s highs. So, oh boy, that's a pretty wide range here on Meta coming in. Oh boy. Okay, so some strong selling. Sellers pushing into the bid here on CoreWeave. Is it time to break that bid? There's a little bit of there was a bit of a consolidation, a level hold here, if you say, on 138, and I think that if that 138 consolidation low goes, I'm sure there's a lot of longs kind of risking in and around there. If that cracks, we may see a potential move down into VWAP, and bids have been pretty strong on the day, multi-day trend on the day as well. But today was the day 3 gap up on CoreWeave. So let's see if we can get a little bit of profit taking as well. Off of the open, dude, it was absolutely clean. 135s all the way to 130s, but I did get a little anchored to that trade as it came in, and then now we're just holding up pretty nicely.
Would you say your ads are like from a risk unit standpoint, or is it like 5% ads of like total risk you're looking to allocate to the trade? Or
on the day today, I think I came in and I was like, I'm gonna allocate a total of about 50% of my daily
of your shutdown. So is that what you've built in currently right now? Or?
So you have to remember, so that's based off of multiple tries, right? Because like 50% of my risk, giving myself multiple tries to actually try and get it, and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I think kind of looking back at it, the move off right off the open was pretty nice. Yeah, I think that was it right there. Yeah.
Nice. Aggregate and put in some club mix samples. Now it's a Rap Brothers mix on trades over 50K. I abandoned the Sherbert SFX on trades aggregate and put in some club mix samples. Now it's a Rap Brothers mix on trades over 50K. Shout out to all my hardcore UFC fans. You guys who know 50K Ige is. I like Dan Ige, good guy. But yeah, guys, Google is continuing to climb, and I mean, I'm all out of this from a swing standpoint. Why? I'm all out of this. I've been out of it for some time here, but yeah, some really good looks on Google continuing to climb. Like we're not too far off of these all-time highs here now, guys. Only about 2.5%, a little bit more than that. But at the end of the day, this is the catch-up trade, right? So you get involved here at this hammer candle. That's where I started to get involved in on it. And then I sold somewhere around here, something like that roughly. And then you get this nice move up higher. And I think it's only a matter of time until they break. So, I mean, the cloud number's great. It's just really, really good stuff. Gemini is doing pretty good now as well, too, even though not everybody loves it. But at the end of the day, we love what's going on with Google, and I think it's a good hold. It's unfortunate, right? And I told you guys a while ago, I sold all of my Google, and I sold all of my Tesla, and I just rotated that into NVDA, into Robinhood. So I'm happy about that, but when you have names in the likes of Google just being a consistent repeat offender on just, you buy the dip at anything south of 10% or whatever it is, look what happens continuously. It gets bought back up, puts in a new high. Now you get this 25%, 30% retracement right here, whatever it was, 31%, and then now you're moving really, really nicely off of those lows. And at this pace, I'm going to suspect that we're going to be moving to those all-time highs. So keep an eye out on that. Can definitely add some more fuel to the Nasdaq fire, and that's what we want to see. I don't see too many headwinds, CPI coming in tomorrow, but I think we can deal with that. Right? Comes in cooler than expected. And who knows what, it comes in a little hotter. Well, then I think that can be a positive as well too, because then you're going to see a higher percent. I know it's already 90% for a September cut. Now it's 100%. Whether you get 25 bips or 50 bips, I think that's going to be good, especially in the small cap world. And I mentioned before, I think with that rate cut, it's most definitely going to help the crypto space as well too. There, Obi.
Yeah, I think if everything goes as per, I think the market will definitely give us some decent opportunities there. And yeah, I think crypto may be waiting for a bit of a push as well. But like we said, it's already been building up. We talked about the ETH move there, already kind of breaking out of its base and poised for a bit of a push. Have you looked at the monthly chart
on
at
ETH?
all?
On ETH?
On ETH?
Yeah, absolutely.
The monthly
I do that only because of you.
Solid, yeah.
I would only usually go daily.
Yeah.
Do you want to pull it up here?
Yeah,
well,
sure.
yeah, let's pull it up here.
Yeah,
and see.
pull it
you
up.
Got
and,
it there?
No, I don't have it up right away, but yeah, you have.
Yeah, let's pull up ETH itself, and then we're gonna zoom out and head towards. Hopefully, this doesn't fail on me. Bang, and there it is. So monthly. I was doing weekly as well too here, Obi. Hopefully, this doesn't fail. But here it is, right? Like so, from a weekly standpoint, there's still potential for this to move. We're just breaking through that $4,200 level where we have multiple tests, 1, 2, and 3. On the fourth attempt, you're just moving higher and higher, and then I think this is going to be a key pivot. So again, with the likes of Google, I don't like comparing apples to oranges here, but at the end of the day, when you're on these type of trajectories, I think you have the ability to go and test that all-time high and then potentially even break it. There's so much fuel to this Ethereum fire, in my opinion, that, yeah, okay, a lot of analysts are obviously, their bullish case is going to be, hey, yeah, 10,000, 15,000, whatever it may be. But for a base case, I don't think that 5.5 is unreasonable, to be honest with you. I don't know how you necessarily feel about that, Obi.
No, I think that's well within range. I think with the way we know that crypto moves, it's usually kind of Bitcoin goes first, ETH follows, and then you have a bunch of altcoins that move around afterwards as well. And we're starting to see some of that happening here as Bitcoin kind of starts to slow down, and then ETH starts to get going. ETH starts to go as well, and then we're coming into some of those all-time high tests on ETH, and I think that 5K is well within range. I wouldn't say on the day, but definitely maybe a couple of months out at least, looking at the follow through on the monthly chart as well. Yeah, I think we're poised for maybe some higher highs, and the market's very strong as well, right? All-time highs,
very
so
strong.
that definitely helps. I guess the bid across all these markets as well.
For sure.
So, yeah.
I mean, put it in the chat, guys. Do you own any Ethereum or do you own any Bitcoin? I know we do this quite often, but now let's add Ethereum into it. So just type in what you own. It's either none, ETH, BTC, or both, right? So I'm curious to see what we got going on. I'll fire it up here. And you know what, guys? You may as well throw the $ in front of it as well, too, because we got to get those rallies in. So we want to keep an eye out on that stuff. ETHA, boom. I got both of them in there. I know you can only vote once, but make sure you guys get those votes in $. I know we got a big XRP fan base. A lot of both. I like seeing ETHE, BTC, love seeing all this, guys. So ETHU, so Met, you're in the double leveraged, I believe, on that one. So hopefully that all works out for you. Again, don't remember, guys, the leverage products are not long-term investments. You will always lose money to the decay there. So don't think that just because it's 2x that you can, oh yeah. Remember, if a stock will just do simple math, the stock falls 50%, what does it do to the price of that leverage ETF? Right? Not saying that that's going to be the case, but you just got to keep that in mind as well too. Both SPY. All right, we got a lot of SPYs. Don't forget your vote only counts once. Had 6 ETH, says D Trader J. Got to get back in. 20 ETH, says Stans Black. Both. A lot of both, and this is exactly what we want to see. Anybody in game? No, we can take a look at game here momentarily. But yeah, a lot of stuff, a lot of XRP, a lot of ETH, both. Thanks for the participation. Make sure you guys get that $ in. But guys, we're going to Adara And then Neil with his lesson of the day.
The market pushing higher here. Nice leg up for the S&P 500 so far in this 15-minute candle, which is just about to close as we head into, I guess, the next hour of the trading day. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq as well, see how this is doing. Nasdaq looking pretty similar to the S&P 500. Let's see if we break above that 576 level. Right now, been a little bit of resistance for the Nasdaq. We just finished a very wide-ranging press conference with President Donald Trump. He did speak a little bit about Nvidia and AMD and those chips, and he also spoke about MSOS, which is cannabis, though not directly. He was asked about a report suggesting that he's interested in reclassifying marijuana as a less serious drug. He did confirm that he is interested in reclassifying marijuana. So good look here for these cannabis stocks, including MSOS. There's lots of volume on these too. Now let's also take a look here at MNDY. Tons of earnings names on watch for tonight. After the bell, we'll get Oklo, we'll get Microvast, ASTS or AST Space Mobile, tons of things to look at here. But MNDY, very weak here on earnings day one. They did report actually an EPS and sales beat, but their guidance was a little bit lower than expected, or more or less in line with expectations. Now, for now, we're going to send you over to Neil and his lesson of the day. So without further ado, take it away, Neil. Make sure to like and subscribe, guys.
Very much, Adara. And, in a bull market, it gives you a lot of things. But one thing that tends to be better in a bull market that's at highs are these breakout trades. Now, I talked about the other day how you can sort of avoid the traps, not necessarily avoid the trap, but find your way into some nice reversals on false breakouts. But when breakouts are working all over the place, there's something you should be looking for to keep it simple at the open. And this is probably going to be one of the easier things to find. Like first, you want to find something which is relatively an in-play stock. Maybe it was a squeeze play before, or maybe it's in the right sector, which we'll get to a little bit later with another name here. But like a simple one like Open, if you're scanning looking for trading ideas, you might just do so simply as to say, okay, stock that went before, Open clearly was one. And then any stock that has made a pullback after going and a rounded bottom. You hear us talk about this all the time. Well, you got your double bottom, rounded bottom. You get your higher low. And then it's a very simple breakout setup. There's your recovery day. There's your recovery top. There's your breakout price. It's right above the $2 level. And obviously it happens pretty much right at the open, break, and trend higher. It's about the easiest strategy that you can, I don't want to say that you can ever look for, but really when you think about it, it's not that difficult to try to find names like this. It could be also as simple as, well, it did it the day before. Now, we talked about Tesla since earnings going to the downside and catching itself a bottom. So since earnings, it's been making higher lows, which is also a form of rounded bottom. It's breaking a trend, but it's already been giving you multiple breakouts. Look at how simple it is. There's your bottom, there's your higher low, double top in there, break. Consolidate, make another high, break. Now, today I would venture it's a little bit trickier for Tesla because it didn't give you that top end break, but it's simple. It's made a low. It gives every single consolidation on the recovery back to the upside is just a break out of the prior high. Sometimes you might take this break and it doesn't work, and then the next day you take it and it works. It's that simple. And then the first time you take this consolidation break on Friday, it absolutely flies. And in this type of a market, you only really need one of these. You hit one and you're effectively done. I'll give you what might have been the easiest one out of all of them. Well, easy is the wrong word, but when I was looking at this, it probably was. ARM, similar story. After earnings, makes a low, finally holds a low and puts in a higher low. I mean, it held the low here, put in a higher low, but then immediately the day after it took out the low. Once you hold the low, higher low, and now you're gapped up, what does it do? It breaks out the prior resistance. I say easy because it happened to be $140. Just very cleanly. Breaks even dollar and goes $6. On a 15-minute, there isn't even a red candle. It just goes the $6 on the 15-minute before you even get any kind of a pullback. When you put it to the 3-minute chart, there's one little red candle here at $5 on that break. In this type of environment, you could do a heck of a lot worse than just finding a name that was down after earnings, Let it make the rounded bottom, a couple of days that it holds a low, higher low, then just take the breakout of every single channel. The momentum is going to be there because the buyers are in the market and they're looking to pick up anything that's going to do catch up. You can do it with things like Open Door, which, hey, that had a parabolic squeeze. It kind of went to the wayside, but now it's putting in those higher lows. You take the consolidation break. From a risk to reward standpoint, the best thing about those types of breakouts is they don't have to work more than 50% of the time, because the size of the move you get tends to be large enough to allow you to win 1 out of 3 so long as you're reasonable with it. Now, I tend to be in the camp that you don't hold it to like the prior day low or some nonsense like that. You can hold to like pre-market bottoms, prior bar lows, something reasonable, and your R&R is absolutely fantastic. But it's not like we sit in these environments forever. And while we're in them, it's almost as if you want to have 1 or 2 breakout ideas at the open, and just hunting for the right ones is half the battle. And once you hit one, you can be one and done. I mean, ARM was a perfect example today. I wish I was looking at it, wasn't. It just comes down to, what would you rather try to do? You can have winning trades, or you can have like the easiest winning trade. And when breakouts are working at the open, they tend to be the lowest hanging fruit. So just find that rounded bottom, especially after earnings, when a stock has come down a little bit and then shows you it's finally made a low. That's exactly when it can go back and fill in the gap. And that's what breakouts can do for you. So there's your lesson of the day. Hopefully everyone has a fantastic midday. We'll see you back at 2.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna hop out of this this Bitcoin trade here. It's not really breaking down, and I'm okay with that at the end of the day. But do the wave TH9DC. That's a pretty long name. We need to get those original names back. Makes it significantly easier. Hey, Joe, any thoughts on Hood Stop? I picked up a couple hundred shares at 59, but I'm concerned about valuation. I also believe in crypto, which I know helps hold the stock up. Thanks. I mean, I think with Robinhood, I mean, if you're in at $59, that's fantastic stuff. There's nothing wrong with trimming. Also, just think about your period on what you're looking to hold this in. For me personally, I've been in this name for some time, a couple months now anyway, since I rotated out of Tesla into Robinhood. But you got to understand, I think there's a lot going to be happening for Robinhood, considering that they are going to probably be one of the first exchanges to get involved in the tokenization of all equities, right, which can lead to 24-hour trading. And if everything is already on the Robinhood platform, then I think there's plenty of room for this to grow. And if you go over the previous earnings report, you're still seeing like massively sustained growth, right? Options activity up 100%. The gold members are up to about 3 million. I wouldn't be surprised if it's north of 3 million now. Crypto transactions up. When we've seen in the likes of Coinbase, they were down. Again, just a lot of activity going on for Robinhood. For me, I'm bullish this name for the foreseeable future. Okay, I'm all out of this. IBIT trade. Don't want to be shorted. If it does want to break down, we'll get right involved in again. But we'll take a small loss on that one. Nothing to worry about. But as for Robinhood, I think you'll be just fine, right? So I think there's a lot of room to go. And I mean, look at Ethereum go. I mean, sorry, I don't want to sound like a broken record. But again, it's just taking advantage of the environment around us. You got Adara and you got Sharif and all the Brando bringing you guys news and what's going on from kind of a macro standpoint. Again, just trying to take advantage of some of these trades, and sure enough, that's what we got going on with Ethereum. And for some reason, I just have a feeling that it's going to want to continue to climb higher and higher, trading up to $32 now, which I believe would put ETH north of $4,300, which is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, just slightly above that there. Through some key resistance zones, 43.57 is what we're currently trading at. And if you ask me, it doesn't really look like it wants to slow down just yet. It's a pretty strong engulfing candle, a nice breath in between. And if you get another couple 5-minute candles print inside this range, and then it decides to take another leg higher, that's going to be absolutely fantastic for Ethereum Sharif. And I mean, oh my God, no one's talking about, look at the Nasdaq go. Yeah, wow, did you see that there, Obi? Yeah, wow, the SPY and the Nasdaq are going absolutely insane. If there's any news, Adara, please let us know, because this volume that has been picked up in the overall market is absolutely, as you would like to say, beautiful, my friend.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, that bid's coming in real strong. Wow. We're talking about, these futures are trading within their opening ranges, and oh boy, does that bid come in so aggressive and aggressive to the upside. So I'm guessing that some of these Mag 7 names definitely broke out there. Apple pushing some fresh highs there. Softy at some fresh highs. And oh boy, Tesla still continuing, man. Tesla's still going. Amazon's breaking out of its consolidation highs as of right now. So yeah, Mag 7's really, really strong on this push. But yeah, no real news coming out. I think we're just breaking out of some of these opening range highs and getting a little aggressive, maybe putting some shorts offside as well on the day. 100% reversions on some of these names, right? We talked about Google getting sold off of the open, Apple getting sold off of the open, Amazon as well getting sold off of the open, and all of these names getting a little bit of a reversion back up, 100% reversion on some of these. So yeah, definitely going to be putting some players offside for sure when it comes to 100% reversions, because basically you're wiping the whole price range of the morning session on some of these. So anybody and everybody who was maybe short-term sitting short now becomes part of some of that buying pressure as well. What's up, Adara?
I just want to let you guys know there is no news. I would actually concur with what Obi just said there about these markets kind of breaking out of their opening ranges and out of their day's highs. It's interesting as well. Some of this push higher did start after Donald Trump left the podium just before 12 p.m. So potentially could be a little bit of the reversion type scenario that we see sometimes when Fed Chair Powell finishes speaking. If there's any news, I'll let you know, but I'm not seeing anything to explain this move in any way whatsoever. Back to you.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the volume's there supporting this move here, guys. So that's some big time stuff. Are we going to look to revert it? Maybe, possibly, but I want to see some definitive signals before I get involved in that. Nice work on Tesla. That thing is continuing to climb higher and higher. BMNR double topping at 70, slight rejection there. So with that being said, let's take a look at the chain gang to see. I know what that means, something else. I don't know why I say that anymore. But what was I going to BMNR? Yeah, I kind of fell into that rabbit hole last night as well too. You know, when you just get into the rabbit holes on YouTube when you're just kind of just going through some things. Yeah, and well, it led that way there, Obi, for sure. 65,000. There's nothing on here. Volume. Where's the OI? Something must not be right on the platform. But there it is, 65,000 at that. Sorry, that $65 strike price. We have 14,400 contracts currently open. It doesn't go any higher there for some reason, which is slightly odd. Usually bring that a little bit higher, but nothing substantial from a volume standpoint that we're experiencing here in BMNR. Man, that ETH trade, I'm glad that I'm out of Bitcoin. I obviously don't want to be shorted, but just listening to what the price is telling me, it did break through that key pivot level that we were referring to earlier. And I said I was going to give it 45, so that's an extra 5 cents I did give it. So I'm happy to just abandon that thesis and find something else here. But yeah, ETHA, man, oh man, you just should have stuck with the rock on this one here, guys. So we get in this move, and then sure enough, it holds that VWAP, and I was convinced that this signal was going to be the end of this trend to the top side, but here we are, ETHA up 7% on the session, and then you get that that move from 32.20 all the way up to just north of 33. So that's an additional leg that we got to experience here in ETHA. And I mean, my guy, I always talk about Tom Lee as well. He says that this could be Ethereum's 2017 moment in regards to Bitcoin there. So, I mean, we like that. If we get that crazy appreciation, we're going to have a good time, and we're just going to try to diamond hands this one for the foreseeable future there, Obi.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people in the chat talking about a lot of crypto names, ETH, Coin. Yeah, I think everything's catching a little bit of a move there as of right now. The market absolutely crazy. Like I said, that buying pressure coming in real hot. But coming into the end of this 15-minute candle, we only have 1 minute left until this 15-minute candle closes, and it seems like we're catching a little bit of selling going into the end here. So let's see how we kind of close in. AMD finally catching maybe a little bit of a sell. We did break below that consolidation low that I was talking about earlier, and slowly kind of trickling down, and distinctly different from the rest of the market. The market ripped up to the upside. You can see the Nasdaq pushing into that 23,800 mark pretty aggressively and taking a little bit of a pullback. And AMD doesn't really quite test its highs on that market strength. You can see that most of the buying probably done in the morning session as of right now, and maybe taking a little bit of a breather. VWAP I have all the way down here, 175s and some change. Let's see if that can pull in as of right now, with the market attempting to push highs and pulling back in at the same time. But yeah, no, Tesla continues to push even higher. So let's take a quick look at that one here. So TSLA right here, you can see nice grinding bid, nice hold of this bid as well. You can see just drawing a trend line from some of these lows. We're holding that uptrend pretty well. Every time we pull into this, look at how many touches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 5 touches here on the trend line on Tesla, and holding up pretty well on the day. So uptrend to say the very least there. And Apple as well. You can see Apple, we pointed this one out a little bit earlier. Apple very, very strong on the day at the same time. Here, if it can load, and it's having some trouble loading. Okay, that's fine. We can kind of refresh the page and see if that'll help. Here on the reload, Apple, here we go. So yeah, Apple, you can see push into 229s on the day. Absolute strength on this one here, pushing to the upside. Let's see if we can get to those 230s, man. 230s, we attempted to push that 230.70s was the high from Friday, and then not really holding any of those, pulling all the way back into 224s on the day as of right now. So nice little pull into the bid this one had, but that bid coming in just as aggressive as it did prior day here on Apple, giving or pulling it all the way back. Didn't quite get to high a day there, but you can see the strength on Apple that we had prior day. Absolute beast on this one. From the day low to the day highs, man, this thing did over 5%. That was an $11.72 move on Apple, so aggressive strength prior day, and we're seeing more of that bid potentially come in on the day today. Microsoft, that one was a bit choppy, but you can see, like I said before, continuing to do more of the same. Higher highs, higher lows, holding above VWAP, trending nicely on the day, and market tailwind definitely helping out on Softy there, Joe. So yeah, Nvidia as well. Wow, okay, Nvidia. Got to talk about Nvidia real quick. Nvidia pushing for its day high as of right now. Hasn't really broken it just yet, but only about 2 pennies away from its day high on Nvidia. So this market is hella strong as of right now, Joe. So can't stop, won't stop. This bid is absolutely wild.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's go over some of the tickers that you guys wanted. CGC going crazy. All right, let's go. That was one of your, actually, was it? Yeah, it was definitely in my earlier years. It wasn't the first stock I bought. Or was it? I don't even remember anymore. That was almost a decade ago. Wow, $1. But see, the thing is, though, Canopy Growth Corp was insane. Insane. Did you own any of this back in the day?
CGC,
Obi?
yep.
Yeah. I mean, so there it is, bang. And I don't know if it's split or anything, but I owned it significantly cheaper. Oh, okay. There's definitely reverse splits in here, considering, because it never got up there. It got up to about $50, $60 or whatever it is, maybe even a little bit more. But yeah, that was a while ago, literally 10 years ago. It was probably a little bit less, maybe, is when I first started getting involved in that. Again, man, you just do some of these solid investments, and they can set you up pretty good here. But yeah, CGC, yeah, really tough look. Aurora Cannabis. ACB, yeah, until this thing gets back up to $1,500, your boy is going to be sitting on a 99.9% loss on that one. But yeah, go ahead, Obi.
All right, guys, so savvy Canadian traders looking to boost their exposure can now tap into the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P 500 with Beta Pro 3 times daily leveraged ETFs featuring built-in FX hedging. This aims to amplify short-term market moves, minimizing the impact of currency swings. Whether you're feeling bullish or bearish, these ETFs are built for active day traders ready to take on the market. Read the full risk disclosure in the prospectus at betapro.ca before investing. So yeah, this market is now taking a little bit of a pullback, and that short on AMD is coming in quite nicely. So no, man, I kind of I was thinking about it, but didn't really get involved, and it's coming in quite nicely as the selling starts to come into this name. It was aggressive to the upside, and I was looking for a reversion, but going a little sideways like that, I didn't really like it as much. But it's coming in quite nicely now, much later after the bid kind of broke. The bid broke what, around 1040, 1050, and it's taken about a couple of hours there for it to pull back in towards VWAP, and VWAP's coming in at 175.40s here. Joe, so yeah, no, it's coming in nicely. Don't really have it. Let me know if you have the AMD short. The market was pretty aggressive. Now we're finally taking a little bit of a breather here. So are we looking at any sort of false breaks on some of these highs that we broke, is what I'm asking. Amazon maybe right away comes into perspective as it attempts to break this high here. Let's take a quick look at Amazon. Attempts to break this consolidation high and is pulling back within range as of right now. So going to continue watching this one here. Apple as well. We just talked about this one. Maybe some strong selling coming in. I'm seeing some red on the tape on the side of my eye here on some AMD, but it seems like it's coming in across the board with sellers being a little bit aggressive. But again, buyers were very aggressive for the past 30 minutes, Joe, so it makes sense if they are coming in and we are kind of changing hands from buyers to sellers. Makes sense for a little bit of a pullback, and we're seeing that happen here on AMD, almost back down at VWAP. So, oh boy, bit of a miss trade on that one.
Right.
It is what it is. Where's the next trade?
Yeah. We got to find that next trade there, Obi. Potential topping signals in the overall market as well, too. Could be a potential pullback, so just keep that in mind. Still a little bit of buying pressure in some of those candles, so just keep that in mind. But ETHA, $33. What are we trading at? Okay, yeah, so this makes sense, guys. So this is why we look at this stuff. Pug Life and I were literally just talking about this. Where's the highest level of open interest here on Ethereum? Right at that $33 strike price. Where does it reject? $33, all right? So there you go. I mean, 27 does have a little bit more, but only a couple 500 more current open contracts on this week's cycle. But other than that, we're just going to go with the same method that we've been doing for some time, right? To look for some potential continuations. So for me, it's like, all right, so now we have the concentration at $33. I'm going to be looking come next week, where did that move? Is it stagnant? Did it stay at 33? Or did it lift a couple strikes? If it lifts a couple strikes, well, guess what? I'm even more bullish on the underlying asset, all right? So same thing we got going on with NVDA. We'll pull that up. I'm curious to see if that concentration has grown at 185, still at 119, but it's the exact same thing. Leading into earnings, what is happening? What is going on with that large amount of open interest? Is it staying put, or is it starting to slowly lift in increments on the strike prices, right? So for me personally, for me to remain bullish on NVDA in the short term, right? Short term, this is short-term plays, is that I would want to see those 120,000, 150,000, whatever it builds up into leading into earnings report. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see 200,000 open contracts around that strike price. But I'm also going to be looking for it to be lifted. Does it go to 190? Does it go to 195.5? Does it go to 197? And with that being said, you can get that magnet effect that we also talk about experiencing within these open interest levels, and then you lead into that specific price, and then sure enough, you have the hedges, as Neil likes to say, pushing price down continuously, just selling against that position, because they want those contracts to expire worthless so they can collect that passive income, that yield from writing options, all right? So that's what we got going on with those two names. 33, I think it might be a little bit of a wall here for Ethereum, right? Considering relatively 14,500 contracts at that specific strike price. 27 is out of the works. Those are out of the money now. Well, I mean, from the writer's standpoint, they're obviously in the money, $6 roughly. And then sure enough, what I want to see is that lift to 34, 35, 36, and that's just going to tell me that Ethereum has much more room to run. But it's unfortunate we didn't take an additional stab right at VWAP. Holds it beautifully there, Obi, and then you get that second leg higher, which is almost, it might be even a little bit larger. So let's do the math here, 32.25 all the way up. So about 75 cents, we'll call it 80, and then we got from 31.85 all the way up to 72. So about $1, so a little bit less, but you can see that sometimes the second legs, when you come and you hold the volume weighted average price, are equally as strong and have the potential to be stronger in that specific move. But Obi, what do you got?
All right, guys, Trade the Pool. You've seen Trade the Pool here with us for a while now, and now Trade the Pool has created something special just for you. A free ebook featuring 4 proven swing trading strategies from Trade the Pool's top funded traders. Inside, you'll see exactly how they approach the markets, how they manage risk, and what setups they rely on, so you can learn and grow from what actually works. Download it now by scanning the QR code or on the screen or hitting the link in the description below. All right, thank you very much. Yeah, no, check out their free ebook there. I'm curious to know what kind of strategies they're giving away there on Trade the Pool. But the strategy here on AMD was a bit of a reversion to VWAP, and that's coming in pretty nicely as of right now. Didn't really get involved on that one there. Still looking for a potential reversion to VWAP here on CoreWeave, and that's holding up pretty well as well, so being patient for that one. But yeah, let me know in the chat what you guys are trading, what are you guys up to, and have you guys played any of the futures? Are you guys positioning in anticipation of the rate numbers coming out this week? And yeah, I'm curious to know how everybody's kind of trading this market. Oh boy, there's 175s coming in on AMD and Apple. Prior bar low break happening on the 15-minute chart after a little while here as well, so maybe poised for a bit of a turn. But the one that has not turned yet, Joe, is Tesla. Tesla's, oh boy, man, this one is real charged up on that technical breakout. We were looking at that price compression last week. I was talking about this, and I was like, when and if it gets released, we could get a pretty distinctive move, and we're getting one as of right now on the day today. 335s, oh boy, that was a bit of an interesting level, all the way to 346s as of right now. 346.38 is the high of day here on Tesla today, and just slowly just stepping up. That 15-minute candle, man, absolutely beautiful stuff happening there on that trend to the upside on Tesla.
Oh, I bet.
What do you got going?
Yeah. I'm just looking at here how many subs we got on this one. First place, 82 subs. Bitmine, Immersion, looking really good, and we got a couple other crypto plays here as well. Coinbase putting it up there, it's on the board, so hitting the podium on there. Open, BBAI reporting after the bell. Advanced Money Duplicator. So yeah, just get those votes in there, guys. Make sure you do so. So when the rundown comes, we're talking about what you guys want, right? So make sure you hit the $sign. I'm gonna do mine. You know what? I'm really, really ashamed to say that. How has Bitcoin or Ethereum not made any of the polls yet? So we got to put that on there. That's what I'm going to be doing, Obi. Pardon?
How can she slap?
How can she slap? But I mean, we got Coinbase, and then we got BMNR up there. So maybe we can't complain too much, right? So considering it's kind of touches base on all of the kind of crypto space, with the exception of BMNR, obviously. Coinbase can. Tesla, yeah, get those votes in, guys. Be sure to do so. What do we do? What do we do here, Obi? You're still
should have been short on AMD. Look how nicely it's coming in, man.
Right, we shoulda, coulda, woulda. Are you going to shoulda fest?
Shoulda fest?
I mean, could have been fest.
Could have been fest. Yeah, maybe.
Are you actually?
No. Is that an actual thing?
Yeah.
I thought you were making a joke.
No. Could have been fest. You know, Drewski, the comedian, right?
Yeah.
He's coming to Toronto.
Oh,
he's
no
doing
way.
Could have been fest. Yeah.
Okay.
Soldier Boy's gonna be there. I know Adara likes Soldier Boy. Young MA is gonna be on there as well.
Interesting.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the first person you mentioned? I totally missed
Drewski.
that.
Drewski.
No, Drewski I'm not familiar with. But this person you said I'm a fan of.
I said Soulja Boy.
Soulja Boy.
Soulja
So, okay, you were trying to mess with me. I see
You,
what
yeah,
you were doing.
yeah.
Young M.A. though. I do like Young M.A.
So you know, yeah, there it is. But I still like Soulja Boy, man. Come on, I grew up on Watch Me You.
Watch Me You.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I grew up on that stuff.
That was a banger.
Yeah,
I remember the video. There was just like dancing in the swimming pool.
Yeah,
that was
with the oversized T-shirts, like the triple XLs.
I still got a lot of those.
You still have a lot of those?
I still half my wardrobe is filled with like oversized double, triple XLs, and I'm just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. Maybe my kids can grow into them.
Maybe they'll know. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I have no idea.
I know.
But,
funny game.
Yeah, we'll see. 175's coming in now
on
AMD. But I'm just watching.
Yeah.
I'm just watching right here.
What's your target on
the Stream Deck's going to be down for
Stream Deck? Yeah, that's fine. We're not being. Can I better get my fix before.
Okay,
but boom. And then,
oh my God.
There we go. Sorry.
So awesome.
Spam the chat. And we'll do money. Hit the money. And then we'll hit the oh boy. So there we go. We got our fix. Oh boy. AMD pulling back in there. Let's go CoreWeave. Breakdown for our guy Obi here. That's exactly what we want to see. I'm the first rapper to watch Trader TV, says Stevenson. Yes, let's go. The first rapper to, I was going to say.
Oh, Soulja Boy, right? Yeah, he was the first ever to do it.
Yeah,
he was the first ever to do it.
Ever to do it. First ever to buy ETHA, the first ever to buy IBIT, the first ever to just do it, really. So shout out to Soulja Boy there. He went through a little bit of struggles, but he kind of rebounded good. That was good. I'm happy for him because, you know, Adair and I were talking about the child stars usually have a little bit of a tougher run, and then yeah, I mean, he was like 16, 17 when he came out with Crank That, no?
I mean, well, think about it. Lil Wayne was pretty young when he first started, 14, but he's still going real strong.
Well, I mean,
have you heard his new album?
No.
It's pretty.
I mean, I don't know what strong is, like probably 100 gallons.
I mean, he's still got it.
100 gallons of promethazine later. I don't know how much strong you can be going, but I mean, if we want to classify it,
I mean, look at I guess.
What's
going on?
Oh yeah, I know Ramin's a big Soulja fan. Yeah, he went through some.
Best rapper alive.
He's tapped in.
Best rapper alive.
Kanye West.
Oh boy. All right.
Crazy, man.
Kanye West.
Best rapper alive?
Eminem.
Alive. Okay. Best rapper of all time. We don't want to go alive there.
Eminem.
Still?
Eminem.
Okay, fair. Fair enough.
Come on.
Kanye in the earpiece.
Yeah.
Kanye was pretty good, but
the best storyteller is obviously Biggie Smalls, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's been some good storytellers.
Best storyteller.
By far, lyrical finesse.
Yeah.
Best MC.
Lyrical finesse is his
Eminem?
name.
No.
Yeah. I mean, the Slim Shady show.
Come on.
Eminem,
no rapper alive right now. They've even said it. Go to any rapper and be like, would you battle Eminem?
But I'm not a rapper.
Absolutely not. No, nobody's gonna step up to M. We saw what happens when kids try to step up to Eminem. We saw what happened to MGK.
Ooh.
Right? His career's done. He doesn't even. What does he do now?
He's a rock. He's a rock and roll guy. He can't even rap anymore.
That's what happens when you challenge M. He will not only beat you. He will beat you out of the genre.
You got to find a whole other genre.
Eminem was at Square One the other day.
MGK
was. Ramin went to go watch MGK.
MGK went to go check in at Square One, the local mall here. So shout out Ludacris. Strong second is insane. I'm sorry.
Oh boy, that's almost ludicrous.
Yeah, that is absolutely. It's not almost. It is.
Get back with that one.
Yeah.
Get back.
Yeah. Get back. Yeah. Get back because you don't know him like that. Really.
You don't know him like that. It's funny. I did a elementary school gym dance thing because they were like, get into groups and they pick like a song and you were supposed to do like a dance routine for gym and we did it for Get Back.
Get Back?
Yeah.
Did you guys have the oversized hands?
No, I wish I did. I wish I did. It was a pretty fun times there.
Yeah.
But no, Ludacris has some bangers.
Oh, there we go.
I was listening to Chingy yesterday. You remember Chingy?
Yeah.
Holiday Inn.
That's what we grew up on. What was that one? Oh, remember, what was that one guy's name? He's like 1 to the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Everybody dancing at Jaquan or something.
Jaquan, yeah.
Shout out to
Because
that song.
didn't he do Tipsy as well?
Tipsy,
He did
yeah,
Tipsy.
yeah. That's the song I was trying to sing
Yeah.
as well. Tipsy was a good one,
those are good.
Good stuff there. Good times, man. When times were simpler and we didn't have to worry about super leveraging ETH and all that stuff. So yeah.
But hopefully, well, someone did tell me to get long Bitcoin, but I did not listen. I always say this story. Me and my buddy, we actually talked seriously about mining Bitcoin at home when it was in and around $6.
No way.
Yeah. So we were talking about this. I remember in high school, and I was like, "Oh, I only had like a few $100 in the bank," and he was working as well, so he had a little bit more than me, and he was like, "My dad's not letting me transfer into crypto because he doesn't believe in it." And we had this long conversation, and it's fair to say that neither of us have Bitcoin from $6.
Yeah, man. Imagine
if I did.
What if?
I probably would still be here trading because I love trading, but
there's zero chance. There is zero chance.
What do you mean?
Obi, you have so say you had 1,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You're still sitting here trading?
I would still want to trade. I still want to play the game.
That's fair. That's fair. No, that's dedication, for sure.
Listen, if you had all the money in the world and you could do whatever you wanted, like, do you still want to trade? Of course, because I don't like. It's why. Like, the question is, why do you trade? Sure, P&L is a byproduct.
I love it.
Making money is nice. This, that, and the other. But why do you actually trade? That's the question I always ask.
Fair enough.
Right?
Fair enough. Yeah,
Like,
I can respect
everyone has their own motivations, but I like to play the game. I like to kind of test my mettle in what I think is one of the hardest arenas in the world. So I get a little bit of pleasure from that.
It's easy.
A little selfish, but I like playing the game.
Definitely, it's a fierce shout out
Degen
to
gambling, saying people. Yeah, I mean, if you want to call it that, but that's not trading.
Shout out to Spartacus. But yeah, you got a good trade going on there, Obi, with BMR, with CoreWeave there.
I mean, it's working now. We'll see. We'll see if that 138 consolidation.
Are you looking
breaks.
for the break of VWAP there on that one?
Let's see what happens when VWAP comes in. We are pretty much on top of VWAP as of right now, but this consolidation is what I'm watching. Consolidation low I have specifically on my chart at 137.75. We're currently trading at 138.40s. So not too far away from there. And I guess I just want to see if stops get taken out if we do violate that price. That price is coming in to VWAP as well. So kind of signifying that the average participant long is sitting at these prices as well. And if the bid is kind of dissipated and the market's taking a bit of a pullback from 23,800 and the ES as well off of, 64.30s here as well. So I'm looking for a bit of a push through that level. Let's see if we can crack some of those levels and maybe take out some longs that are risking that consolidation low, right? That's what I'm looking for. Some size showing up on top of that 138, about 300 lots. Let's put on the filter there so you guys can see right there, buddy, right there, 297 lots at that 138 mark. There's some liquidity for you. Let's see if the market takes it out. So someone's definitely providing some of that bid on the Nasdaq gate at 138. So I'm just waiting. I'm watching. This is VWAP here. This is VWAP now. And this is also pretty much testing that consolidation low. I say that if we break this consolidation or this bid, I want to see it go right to those 70s and then maybe crack a little bit lower and maybe chop around VWAP, maybe consolidate there for another leg down. But again, we don't know, or I don't know if that's going to come in right away or off the bat, but that's what I'm looking for. Maybe potential add as well if we can get some structure holding lower. But if VWAP's going to hold pretty nicely, then I'm pretty much going to be done with this one.
Right on, right on.
That's kind of the look there. No idea what it's going to do.
Yeah, no idea.
It's all probabilities.
It's all probability. Right. But may the odds forever be in your favor there, my friend.
Thank you very much.
What was I just about to say? Oh, yeah. Right on, right on, right on. Shout out to Matthew McConaughey. CoreWeave looking pretty good to the downside. Bouncing off VWAP right now, but I do believe we have the ability to breach that and head south. Robinhood doing pretty good. I mean, still hovering around 116.42. Neil mentioned that we did touch that all-time high right there. And then look at this name go, Ethereum. just putting in another consolidated phase right here, and I would not be surprised if it decided to take another leg up. But again, anything can happen. It could obviously tank, but I think it's just too strong right now. A lot of people saying it's undervalued, and I like that because we're participating on that one now. 33.05. If we do break 33.05, I will be keeping an eye out just in case you get more VPA signals to flush it and send it lower. You did get this one right here, and I thought it was going to be substantially stronger considering the volume that stepped in where the print was. But as soon as you run into the volume-weighted average price, it's like, no, AC Slater, we're going to continue to move higher here. So keep an eye out on this one. You want to get in on the lower end of the range, obviously, as simplistic as that may sound. Not as easy. You just post up here and see if you can catch those fills. And then you obviously want to give it a little bit of a stop. My issue is that VWAP is essentially where you're really, really wrong, but you want to head maybe into the middle of the range. But so that might be a little bit too much risk right there, 50 cents or so. So especially if you're trying to keep it tight. But just keep an eye on some of these crypto names because I think it's just a total hot space today. As long as on the lower time frames, that volume stays relatively cool, I think we'll be all right. You can see it kind of pick up as we're appreciating, and then as we have these pullbacks, it's really starting to cool off right into K. So that's something positive that we like. So I just did say AC Slater, my friend, taking leaps. It's just a little inside joke between me and my friends because we would always say see you later, and that just eventually morphed into AC Slater. So yeah, even though I never watched a day of whatever show he was on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that like that's like an actor or something?
Yeah. I think it's is it The Breakfast Club, Katina Man?
Oh my God! Why are you even making this joke if you don't know the reference? It's Saved by the Bell, man.
No, sorry.
It's Saved by the Bell.
Hey, I don't need to know the reference. I can make whatever joke. All right, please.
Very
First of all, I can make any joke, but I have no idea what it's from. So there it is.
You don't want to get on her bad side.
Yeah, it's Saved by the Bell. Same thing as The Breakfast Club, essentially. Maybe there. I don't know. I never watched either one of them, so. To be honest with you,
I have no idea.
Yeah, not my cup of tea. Yeah, there we go, Katina, man. Things starting to pull back.
Oh, boy.
Bitcoin right at that entry level and when we were at earlier, so not too bad there, Obi.
Yeah, no, I'm still watching this AMD, man. AMD finally catching a bit of a sell. That 175 coming in as of right now. No real size, about 100, was it 140? I got to put my size filter on this one as well. Yeah, 120 lots, 150 lots sitting at that 175 on AMD, and that's coming in quite nicely. So let's see if that can crack and hold a little bit lower. This is what I was potentially looking for, maybe that consolidation in and around VWAP for a potential continuation back down lower, because it is a little overextended on the day. 170 to 178. All right, calm down there, AMD. That's what I was saying, and it is starting to calm down. It did revert to the mean there, right back into VWAP, so it's doing pretty well here. Here comes the Nasdaq as well. Oh boy, there's that flush. So something's coming in. That ES, someone's slapping that bid on the ES right there as we come in to, is this a candle close here? About 3.5 minutes, or yeah, roughly 3.5 minutes left for this 15-minute candle to close. And that was an aggressive selling into the bid there on the ES and the Nasdaq. So let's take a quick look at what is actually selling off. Tesla might be finally turning here. Joe, so let's see if that can potentially give us a bit of a reversion here. Day high currently sitting at 346.64, currently trading at 344, so about 2 points away from its highs is that Tesla mark as of right now. But VWAP's coming in at 341.5, so a bit of ways away from VWAP, maybe about a couple points to the upside, but 3 points to the downside there. So don't know how you want to calculate your R to R on that one, but market's taking a little bit of a pullback as of right now. Holding VWAP on CoreWeave, so oh boy, going to continue watching this one. Let's see if it cracks VWAP, but like we said, a bit of a multi-day trend on this one that's been holding pretty well. So if the bid does come in on VWAP, I do want to respect that and respect that piece of information. But if we are going to catch a little bit of a breather, because we have been bidding pretty aggressively for the past 4 or 5 days on CoreWeave, I do want to be participating for a little bit of a breather as well. But that push, man, off of the open, absolutely crazy. 130 to 141, come on, that's a 10-point move. I'm looking for a bit of a reversion, to be honest. 175 broke on AMD, but still we're chopping around there. I'm gonna let this one kind of chill out here for a little bit longer. Let's see some solid structure hold lower for a potential push. and maybe a little bit of a later trade, but continuation back down below VWAP maybe if we can hold sustainably. Let me pull up the tape for AMD here as well so we can take a look at that together. And does it have the filter on? Now it does. So now we'll see any sort of size if it does show up here. There's some dudes there on 175 on the ask, holding with 100 lot there. So yeah, getting taken out right away. Oh boy. So interesting stuff happening here. AMD 175s could be something interesting.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Getting that for sure. For all those who know what that is from.
For sure, for sure.
For sure, for sure. Getting that for sure. Yeah, boom, boom, didn't work out. We get stopped out right here, and then now, sure enough, it just curls right back in. I don't love it enough to get involved again just yet. You can see that we do have a definitive uptrend, so we are forming those lower highs, or those higher lows, which is something positive, I guess. So we'll keep an eye out on that. If that downtrend does snap, then maybe we'll get involved on that front. Volume is slowly starting to pick up. Ethereum selling aggressively here. Market heading right back in. So whatever pop that was, see you later to that one.
Pop, lock, and drop it.
Pop, lock, and who sings that one there again?
Oh, I don't remember, but that's what the price action is doing right now. Ramin's just like, do you remember who it is?
Who sings that one?
I mean, that's what the price action is doing right now. You gotta listen.
That's past Ramin's age there. That's our age there, OB.
Yeah, I know.
Pop, lock, and drop it.
That was like early. That was early. Huey. Whatever happened to this guy?
Whatever happened to that guy?
I have no idea.
He had a couple bangers.
Yeah. See, Pop, Lock, and Drop It refers to a popular hip-hop dance move, also the name of the song by the rapper Huey.
Yeah, very popular dance move, that's for sure.
The dance move involves a combination of popping, locking, and dropping movements.
Just in case you didn't know.
In case you didn't know.
Just in case you didn't know on that one. But Google, man, Ethereum, selling off pretty aggressively. Market selling up pretty aggressive here, guys. So maybe it's time to get short the overall market. Yeah, I mean, let's go. But come on, Corey, you break down for us as well. You can see that we gap down, fill that gap, and then now we're heading back towards VWAP here.
There's that famous meme I love to use.
Boom, boom, up here, and then sure enough, maybe you get involved right at VWAP. But again, you want to be cautious of a pullback. That might stop you out, considering that you'd probably want to give it to above this range here and then look for the continuation to the downside. So I'll be patient just in case the market does want to rebound, but Bitcoin relatively weak here compared to its peer Ethereum there, Obi.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to, oh, here we go. This is what I'm looking for right here. If it'll have me, oh, come on. You want me to download the app? Don't do that. All right, that's okay.
That's all right.
I'm just gonna, I'm gonna see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Okay, there we go. This is the meme that I like to use whenever we get some strong selling. What movie is this from?
Oh, I have no idea, brother. That's gonna be definitely a financial movie, I think.
Oh yeah, this is a classic.
It's not The Big Short, is it?
Nope, not The Big Short.
The other one there.
There we go. People in the chat are already coming in with the right answers.
Okay. Margin Call.
Margin Call. There it is. That's the one. It's a beautiful, beautiful movie. And at the end they have a bunch of inventory and they have to deal with it. And how they deal with it is to just dump into the open market.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to think of someone. He's like, is that the one where he calls? He's on the phone. He's like, my loss is your gain. That one? He's just continuously calling all his clients, trying to grab shares.
Maybe,
your loss
I
is
don't
my gain.
think
That's the short. That's The Big Short, right, Adara?
Maybe.
Based on what you just did, I can't really tell what was supposed to be happening there, but I know it does not happen in Margin Call because despite the name, they actually don't make that many calls in that movie. There are a lot of phone calls in The Big Short, though.
What is, so the guy from Suits, the smart kid from Suits, what movie is he in? Is he in the Margin Call or the Big Short?
I don't remember him being in either, but I know for a fact he is not in the Margin Call, at least as far as I can remember. I could be wrong, but I don't remember him being in either.
Let's find this out here.
We'll find out. Yeah. What's the guy's name? He's Patrick J. Adams. Okay. I just know him now. See, now I'm forgetting too. It's been so long since I've watched Suits. Mike, isn't his name Mike in Suits? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here.
Suits had a great start off, and then I kind of just fell off pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Did you see if he's in there or
No,
no?
man,
Yeah, I
probably
don't
the
think he
chances of-
was in either of those moves.
Yeah, a chance of me knowing what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
you might be thinking of something
Relatively
else there.
slim.
But,
That's all right,
yeah,
though.
Market taking a little bit of a shake and bake here. That aggressive sell pulling back in and catching a bid a little bit there. But we basically grabbed or wicked off of 23,800 on the Nasdaq here. So going to continue watching that. CoreWeave still holding this VWAP. So yeah, it might not be here for very long if it's going to continue doing more of the same. But again, I'm going to let it consolidate, let it do its thing. Let's see if that 138 is still defending pretty well. Every kind of push into that 138 gets bought right back up. So I'm kind of keeping eyes on that and watching that pretty closely as that consolidates and does the thing there. I'm curious to know whether or not we break this this bid that we've been seeing on the market. The selling is coming in pretty nicely. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for maybe more selling potentially to come in here. But Apple relatively strong. No real pullback on Tesla. We did have that first red 15-minute candle here after a bunch of greens. This is what I'm talking about right here. So this is a nice little break of that trend. We defined this trend, and that trend is now breaking. 15-minute chart was absolutely strong. You can see back-to-back greens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 candles green. And then the first green red candle comes
that's
in
who I was
at
thinking
12:30. What do you think?
The guy from you is in margin call. That's who. Yeah. That's who I was thinking of. Yeah. And then it was this guy, the guy who played Vision. What's his name again? Yeah, Paul Will Immersion, I think his name is. In the show, or either one, Paul Bettany. He's the one he's on the phone. He's like, yeah, my loss is your gain. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's calling, trying to get people to grab some shares up and stuff. So, but other than that, let's see what we got going on, guys. Back to the market. Yes. Short Bitcoin once again, not the best entry price, but you can see that we're slowly curling over here. So small size. Let's see if we can get back on what we lost on it here earlier in the day. If not, then we won't complain. I didn't have enough shares here on each DHA, but that's okay. We won't complain about it. The execution was pretty good, so it's just to up the shares and try to make this extremely heavy, considering that we know there's a lot of strong catalysts behind it. But other than that, let's see if we can get our other attempt on Bitcoin to work. If it doesn't, then I'm just going to stop trying to short it and just stick to names that have been working for me, and that's going to be some Ether and something else. So yeah, let's see if that works out. Patience. I'm going to wait for a curl over. Maybe we do get a retest of this support level here, can act as prior resistance, and even I think in the best case scenario would be around this 68.29 level, but anything can obviously happen. We're holding this base relatively well. Was this enough liquidity absorbed in order for us to continue that curl over and break through those specific zones and then head towards some pre-market lows? That's kind of the game plan here. Is this would be one of the primary targets, and that's going to be 67.80, and we're trading at around 68.18. So yeah, patience. Hopefully CoreWeave breaks down for you there, Obi. Other than that, Hood heading right back towards that high of the day. So another strong name right here in Robinhood. Maybe this will be the move where you break through that pre-market zone, but you can see the consolidation that it's been in, and it's just essentially, yeah, buy the lows, sell the tops right now in Robinhood. But some nice, strong engulfing prints right here, and you're going for that move. Is the volume starting to pick up a little bit? We want to see it increase some more in order for us to kind of confirm that breakout and say, hey, this move can be sustained. And then at the end of the day, boom, look at that, 117.43 on Robinhood, all the way from those lows, 300% there.
Yes, sir. So guys, VinFast delivered over 35,000 EVs in Q2 of 2025, marking a 172% jump from last year. That brings their first half total to more than 72,000 EVs, up over 220% year over year. With stronger sales usually in the second half, they're on pace to easily double 2024's 97,000 units. They're also crushing it on two-wheelers, with nearly 70,000 e-scooters and bikes sold in Q2, up 432% from a year ago. And with gas-powered two-wheelers being passed out in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City by 2026, the growth potential looks huge. You can find them on the Nasdaq under the ticker VFS. So check out our friends at VinFast there. This market consolidating, we got a strong bid for 40 minutes, about almost 30 minutes there on these two candles. You can see from, when was this? About, I guess, 11:45 coming into 12. And then all of that action, or over 70% of that action, getting flushed into on this prior 15-minute candle coming in at 12:30. So yeah, let's see if sellers are on board finally. That 175 still holding here on AMD. Apple seems like it might be pulling back in. Opening range highs, we attempt to push. We can't really get past them. We're pulling back in and taking a little bit of a breather here. Let me show you guys what I'm looking at. Tesla as well, coming in for a potential second red candle of the day. The first red candle being printed on that last candle there with that aggressive sell-off. This is what I'm talking about with Apple. Apple pretty choppy on the day. We attempt to push this opening range high. 15-minute opening range was at 228 and some change. We attempt to push, only get to 2.9 and then pulling right back in. VWAP's coming in at 227. So let's see if we're poised for a little bit of a pullback here. What else am I looking at? Let's see what the chips are doing. AMD, we just talked about that coming in pretty nicely as well. That's consolidating in and around VWAP. Still going to hold on to this one, or just hold off on this one and see what it does in and around here. But the reversion from 177s to 175s came in quite nicely. Intel, oh boy, that was a bit of a push there. That was an aggressive pop into 21s. This is a 15-minute chart, and we're kind of reverting all the way back down on Intel. Let's see if we can crack some of these consolidation lows if sellers stay a little persistent. $20.73, that's where that's coming in at. TSM, nothing too crazy. Micron was on a lot of people's watch list this morning as it had a bit of an earnings, guidance increase there, and that came in pretty aggressively with the selling pressure right off of the open, giving us a nice little reversion there. Again, it was distinctly different from the rest of the chips, Joe, as none of the other chips really got this kind of a bid. So yeah, definitely a little bit of news on its own, but reverted a decent chunk of that coming in off of the open. So market's taking a bit of a pullback. Seems like Micron doesn't really care in terms of the bid that we had off of the open or the selling that we're getting as of right now. It's kind of doing its own thing. But yeah, let me know in the chat what you guys are trading. I'm not really watching anything too else. QQs people are talking about. Yeah, got the futures on watch as well. Palantir, oh boy. Okay, so that one was definitely on my watch list, and I took it off, but didn't really do what I was looking for. I was actually looking for a bit of a push continuation of this flat top consolidation that we had prior day. That did not come in off of the open. We're still within that range as of right now, just chopping up sideways on Palantir. Let's take a quick look at Circle as well. Circle chopping on top of its VWAP as of right now. That's what I was looking at a little bit earlier as well. No real, I guess it is continuing, but no real push after that morning bid on Circle. CoreWeave, we know I'm in this one a little bit as of right now. It's still kind of chopping on top of its VWAP. This 138 bid, it seems like that's been a bit of a held bid there on the day. I was observing it earlier as well, and it's coming back in once again. Now Confluence with a bit of a VWAP hold, but looking for that buyer to maybe potentially step down with the market, with some market tailwind coming in as well to the sell side. So that's what I got on watch. Let me know what you guys are watching. I'm more than willing to take a quick look at some of that as well, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we're just still short here. Taking a little screener there, Obi. I know you gotta always make sure we document everything.
Oh, yeah.
and keep everything in line here. So we'll put that one up there. For the good old documentation, so you can go back and see what we got cooking up with that later, and just kind of review and see how we can get just a little bit better, That's kind of what we strive for. It is exactly what we strive for, to be honest with you. So we want to be around that bush, but let's go IBIT. Let's see if we can get that breakdown. Pug Life, yes. Okay, thank you for taking me in the chat. This is what I wanted to go over here. So essentially what we were talking about, we have a concentration of OI on AMD just around that 180 strike, but it's through the 70s up into 180s. And then sure enough, at an extreme high, 179, you essentially run into there, Pug. And this is what we look for, right? So you get those indecision prints, you're going to correlate that with your call walls, and then sure enough, you're going to be able to establish a thesis and a day trade off of that. And it's just quick thinking, right? It's obviously, it seems like it takes a while to do so, but no, once you get more comfortable with it, you're like, oh, I see this, I see this, bang, let's try to get involved on that. So thank you for pointing that one out. I have the AMD chain up, and this is what we'll just take a look at, is just this concentration of OI here. So you got 19,000 right there, and then you got 21,000 at 75. So you see some substantial size there. If we want to look at put walls, I think 160 is going to be our largest size with 15,600 current open contracts. Okay, no, never mind. So that would be max pain to the downside, 130. Yeah, that'd be pretty painful. Maybe 110 even. Sorry, I'm just continuously eating my words as I scroll down here, Obi. But 110 would be ultimate max pain for AMD to the downside. And then let's take a look at the MP to the top side. Where's the highest concentration? Where is the highest amount? And surprisingly so, it's kind of where we're at the money. 185 is going to be that for the calls on AMD, all right? So just keep that in mind. Always utilize your chain when you have the ability to do so. Now let's take a look at the top performing sectors here on the session. Considering we just had that massive pump up in the Nasdaq and the SPY, but we did give back the majority of that move. So yeah, curious to see what we got going on. Let me put this away. Margin call, we don't really care about that. We'll keep this down here. We don't want too many tabs open. We'll go over earnings and expected moves here momentarily. But what was I just about to do? Trading terminal. Shout out to them.
Yeah, that's a good scanner. I've been kind
this
of.
one you've been using it too?
Yeah, I've been. I think Wayne showed.
Wayner got it. Yeah, I showed Wayner it last year. Nice. He's like, oh yeah, he likes it. So he runs a couple scans. Yeah, so you got a couple things here on it as well too. You can just customize your own scan. Oh wow. Okay, that's what they're doing here now. They're charging you for that one. I don't know. That's crazy. All right. Anyways, I didn't know that. Are they?
Oh boy.
Why? Just use that. Okay, anyways, never mind. We're not getting into all of that. So yeah, let's take a look at the top performing sectors here on the session. Consumer discretionary at the top of its class, up about 0.5%. Consumer communication services, same thing, roughly 0.4. And then healthcare holding on to 0.25%. Technology is in that fourth place, but just holding on to green there. And then in the last three, we got the industrials down about 0.4, energy down 0.6, and then materials down about 0.6 as well to their OB. So that's what we got from the top performing. Let's see what we've been doing over the week. So okay, so the Nasdaq did close green last week, up 3%. The SPY 1.8%, and then the IWM small caps 1.6%. As the Dow barely held on to green, holding up 0.5%. As for the past month, roughly still the same thing. You're looking at the same return there, roughly in the Nasdaq, SPY, IWM, and the Dow in the past month have been negative. So just keep that in mind there, guys. All right.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. Yeah, nice look on some of these sectors here. And now let's take a look at some of the volume leaders on the day, because I'm looking for where the next trade is. I'm not really seeing too much. And right off the bat, Intel is the one that's done the most volume today. 112.5 million shares traded on the day, distinctly different from what we normally do. This thing's doing over 2 times the relative volume, especially after this strong push that we had in the middle of the day there on Intel, and then nice little reversion back down in towards the mean, back into VWAP here, coming in at 2090. So yeah, lots of volume being done on this one. Let me know, were you guys involved in Intel at all? Because oh boy, has that one had quite an extensive move there, and also doing a lot of volume. So liquidity, not really a question there. SoundHound, oh boy, this is what, earnings day 2? Yes, it is. And oh my God, this was the move I was looking for on day one. On day one. But look, day 1 comes in with just a consolidation. So guess what? You get that leg consolidation coming in on day 2 earnings. Look at the breakout of prior day's range, man. What was that? That high was $14.25. Coming in off of the open, $14.25. Bye-bye. Doesn't even look back through the break of that opening. What we open at $13.65, straight up bids all the way to 1550s, and a second leg that gives you a high day of 1602. So oh boy, what a beautiful move on SoundHound, howling to the upside on that one there. So SoundHound, very, very nice. Lucid, we know this one's on the, I guess, volume leader list more often than not, but on the day today, nothing too crazy. Normally it does about 154 million shares by the end of the day. As of right now, we're coming in at 81. So yeah, maybe we are poised to do the average amount by the end of the day. Nvidia coming in at number 5, nothing too crazy, bit of a trend up. SBET, we were talking about this one a little bit earlier. Hopefully you didn't bet too strong on the long, as we've reverted all the way back down into that opening range low area here. That's coming in at 23 halves. We're currently trading at 24.25s here on SharpLink. Yeah, that chart is looking a little bit sharp with that V-shaped recovery all the way back down. Open Door, I know a lot of people who are involved in this one here, and Open Door has been getting that relative volume and some strength over the past few weeks. Post earnings, we did attempt to sell off. We got to a low of $1.70, but now catching a little bit of a bid, reverting some of that earnings day one action. That earnings day one high coming in at $2.24. We're currently trading at $2.21, so pretty much within range of that opening day one opening range high as well on open. A lot of opens on that one. Tesla, again, we talk about this bid, man. This bid is absolutely crazy and aggressive. We're still holding 344s is the local low on Tesla right now. So yeah, a lot of names here. Big Bear AI also trending to the upside. A lot of names that are, I guess, doing some decent volume on the day, excessive volume. And I think that was Sean with the Money Bear. Which one? Big Bear. Big Bear AI. Yeah, there you go. Big Bear AI doing some nice stuff there.
Yeah. Okay. So speaking of, as Sean likes to say, I'm not going to steal it. I'm not going to take his phrase for it. So we'll or can I? Is that okay? The biggest of the bears. Biggest of the bears. All right. Let's see what we got going on. What are we looking at for earnings here on BBAI? BBAI.
Options AI, what is that? Yeah. Aha, okay.
All right, see, you know what I mean? Your friend knows a thing or two, all right, about the world of So, guys, we're looking at about 18.8% expected move here on BBAI with a 232% at the money IB, right? We're right into earnings. So expect that the increase in premiums. We talk about this throughout the obviously the duration, the period that we do go through earnings. So just be cautious of what's going on. You don't want to be buying contracts leading into the report. OKLO, also reporting after the bell today, guys. We got a 12% expected move, 151% at the money IV. Astis, ASTS. I think, is this no, it's not expensive enough. So 13.4% expected move, 167.8% at the money IV. So not too bad there. And then we'll do one more because there isn't too much going on. No one, Plug Power, no. GoPro reports, Microvast holding. Yeah, so we're not doing that one. ACHR. Let's see what we got going on from an expected move. 11%, 138% at the money IV. All right, so keep an eye on those. I'm still short IBIT. Might get involved in some Ethereum here. I'm going to be patient on this one. So there you go, guys. That's your expected moves. We can go through some. We want to say the other ones throughout the week. Mind you, I'm not here on Friday nor am I Monday. I will be in Chicago. So yeah, I'll be going over to Chicago there. You were just there.
Yeah.
You were just there. How was it?
It was good. The weather was good.
Is that your first time there, or have you been there before?
Many.
How was it? Is it a
I
good
have family
city?
that lived there.
Yeah. You remember?
Yeah, it's great city. Yeah.
It's a good city. You like it?
Yeah,
I heard it's like Toronto a little bit there in some aspects.
Yeah, in some aspects.
Nice.
Again, big city. I think it's good. It's
Nice. Yeah, you're from Chicago. Nice. Yeah. So I don't know where I'll be staying, and all my friends kind of just took care of it. So yeah, I'm the type that's just like, hey, just send me the receipt after, and then let me know how much I owe you, and I just show up. I just need an address and a receipt, and then sure enough, I'm there. So yeah, we're gonna be doing some boat cruises in there. We got some nice.
You're gonna down the river.
Yeah. We got a couple of those. We're gonna be going to the field there. I think it's Soldier Field. I don't want to get that one wrong, right? All right, I'm good. I see. All right, there we go, Soldier Field, and then also the ballpark we're going to as well too.
Ooh, okay.
The Chicago, oh wow, yeah. See, here we go. I don't know which one. Wrigley. There we go. Yeah, Wrigley. Yeah, we'll be at Wrigley. We'll be at Wrigley too. So.
Yeah. Joe, you are so lucky you got that one. And I have nothing against the Chicago White Sox. but like, what's the park that there's literally like only a few ballparks. Like baseball is not what it used to be, but there's only a few ballparks that you better know. Wrigley Field, obviously, Fenway, for sure. And again, nothing again. I've never even been to. I've never seen the White Sox play outside of here. But if you go to Chicago, if you go to a game, all I will say is this: I was there years ago for a bachelor party.
Yeah.
And I got outvoted as to what we should do after a Cubs win. We went to go get deep dish because that was on Dude's itinerary. Yes, he had an itinerary. His best man, that's just how he rolled. But if you get a chance to party on the street after the Cubs win on a weekend, it is out of control. Like, just head to a local. It's unbelievable. It's great. I don't know if it's still like that, but it was legit, man. Like, everyone just spills out from the game. It's a great time. It's better if they win, apparently. But Chicago's a great city. Man.
Yeah, I got all my tickets. We're set up there.
So you're locked and loaded.
Yeah, we're locked and loaded.
Get
we're ready
some
to
deep
roll,
dish. You can't go wrong, man.
Wait
Great city, great city. All right, get back to it.
I can't wait for that deep dish. I've been wanting it for so long. The best deep dish that we got around here is Little Caesars, and it's not that good.
No, there's some deep dish places.
You got some good deep dish places?
Yeah. I think I don't remember them off the top, but I have them saved on my phone. Yeah.
All right. Oh, okay. Yeah, send them to me. Let me know. I most definitely would be taking advantage of that. And guys, for whoever's in Chicago, give me some downtown. We're staying downtown. I forget what district or whatever you guys call it down there. But let me know some good deep dishes because I am the pizza. I'm a pizza guy. That is for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna get indulged in that.
Well, deep dish pizza. What's your favorite kind of pizza?
And
the age-old question: do you take pineapples on your pizza?
No, I don't. Yeah, I'm good with a good margarita pie as well too. I think those come in fire. Yes, for me, it's just Batty Alley's is definitely the king of Toronto pizza in my opinion.
They're good, yeah. They're pretty good. I like Batty Alley's. There's also north of Brooklyn. That's a
North of Brooklyn, we get that because the pizza's so big too, right? But Batty Alley's is better than north of.
There's another one. There's some sort of like fireman on Fifth. There's this
man in the fire. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, fourth man in the fire. There's this Instagram guy who does like all of these. He rates all the pizza places, and he was like doing like this top 5. And Batty Alley's came in one of them.
Dave,
as well.
Are you talking about Dave Portnoy from?
No, not
different guy.
Dave. It's a different guy. He's a Michelin chef in Toronto.
Okay.
And he like rates all the best places for what he thinks for like pizza, for burgers, for pasta, for sandwiches, for a bunch of different stuff. So what he thinks are some of the best, and you'd be surprised, some of the best places. Not necessarily some of the fanciest and most expensive
No, it's
places.
the holes in the wall that are
exactly.
that are
some of those places have the best dishes, and I think definitely worth.
I should start a food review and just come out with some absurd takes.
And
just get people going. But anyways, that's what I'm good at. Guys, still short Bitcoin here. I'm going to get involved in a little Ether as well, too, for potential bounce, just because the name has been so strong, and why not, right? So if we take a little loss on that one, there's nothing to cry home about. How much risk do we got to give it? 16 cents, right? So we'll hop in some ETH as well. Am I in it? Oh, okay. I was thinking that now that makes significantly more sense. I hit the wrong L too. So we'll get involved in some of this here. 16 cents doesn't make too much. Like I'm short Bitcoin, long ETH. That's probably not the best idea, but hey, who knows what? Anything can happen. We break down. We get out of the loser, and then we just add to the one that's winning. Obi, let's keep winning.
For sure. You just gotta. I mean, it's all good. I know you're used to it, but sometimes you just gotta roll that over.
Just gotta roll it over, man.
You know all about that. Rolling those options. Rolling those contracts over. But what was if you don't mind me asking, what was your last trade there in the options world?
In the options world, my IBIT calls.
IBIT calls, okay.
Yeah.
The ones you said you got in this past week, or?
No, this was probably maybe just under a month ago.
Okay.
Was my last.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
and I was telling Katina, man, I really mismanaged this ETH trade because I was looking to go grab X amount of shares and then build into contracts just to really leverage the system. But I'm just way far past that now. I'm not going to chase it all the way up here. But IBIT calls were my most previous. Oh no, VIX. VIX. I had some VIX calls that I closed last week. They were just sucking, and then I was in the
VIX is getting a little crushed right now.
Yeah. So I bought some VIX calls. I think my average was like $6.85 on the contract when it was trading at like 16. But I just missed on that move up to 22. Oh yeah, let's go ETH, man. This thing's rocking. But yeah, that was the VIX calls last week is when I closed everything out there. That was my last options.
We got a super chat, Coinbase, here. So this is Ket Copy in the chat saying, "Yo, Joe.
Yo.
Just picked up 15 Coinbase Global Inc. calls for 0905 25s, $340. Is he crazy?" He's asking.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Nobody. How did I know? I'm just that guy. That's it. That's all, brother. Just that guy. Let's pull that up here momentarily. All right, so you're talking about some September expiration, the 5th of September, that Friday, it's the day of my buddy's wedding. That's the only reason why I know that. Yeah, let's pull this up here and see what we got going on. I mentioned Coinbase earlier in the day, right? 15, so you're in there pretty aggressively, in my opinion. 1,500 shares, the rights to it anyways, but there we go, Ethereum. Keep working for your boy. This is exactly what we want to see. Always would like to grab a little bit more, but that's fine. We're just chilling out. It's Monday. Okay, coin. Let's pull this up. 340s. So that's not too bad, right? So that's right when you enter that gap. My issue is, guys, and this is what I say to all of the options traders. It doesn't matter, just for me personally and from my experience. Again, I haven't been doing it the longest, but I've gone through the ringer on some of these occasions and stuff like that. So for me personally, it's just time, and I'll say it one more time, time. All right, so yeah, for me, I don't want to have to worry about theta, considering that you're buying these contracts and you're already leveraging your system. For me personally, it's just spend the extra couple $500-600, $1,000 to just not worry about it whatsoever and really take the advantage of utilizing the leverage product. But 340 by the 5th of September, I think you'll be okay. I mean, what was our high of the day today? If it wants to continue and crypto remains strong, then I think you'll be all right. 333.63. Yeah, I think you'll be all right. Right. So again, if you just have the opportunity to do so, just buy more time. All right. Just so it's like, hey, I'm going to buy a couple months out instead of just 1 month out or 3 months out. I know Pug Life does that. I know Havana does that as well too. They'll buy a couple months out. So yeah, that's just my opinion.
Usually safer, or like what's
1,000%. 1,000%, right?
You're buying yourself some time.
You're buying. Well, that's essentially what you're doing, right? You're buying time. Because we all know that as you get closer to expiration, theta starts to accelerate as well too, right? Yeah. So it's like, okay, yeah, say you're holding these, so say these coin contracts you have, OB, that expire on September 5th, and then the final week of August, you're still hovering around $333. But now you have 1 week left, and then by chance that week, I got to get out of this Ethereum trade here because that's not working out as it's selling. As it's selling off. So I'll hop out of this one here. No worries. Maybe a little prematurely, but that's fine. Bitcoin's working out. But anyways, what I was getting at earlier. So say it's September 27th. You're still not anywhere close to being in the money, and then the final week of your expiration cycle, and it trades up to say $345, and you're like, well, why isn't my contract worth anything? Well, you lost all the extrinsic value to it because it took so long for that contract to start working. And the intrinsic value isn't going to subsidize for what you've lost in theta premium, all right? So just keep that in mind, and that's why I always express just buying a little bit more time. Because I've had contracts where it's like, hey, yeah, I'm in the money, but they expire a week from now, and it took 3 weeks for it to even trade $2 in the money, gain $2 of intrinsic value, but you've already lost the majority of the value of that contract to theta decay. Yeah.
So like timing is obviously
timing is exactly. So timing is extremely important as well too. There goes Bitcoin, absolutely tanking. I got to get involved in this a little bit more. I'm going to. So I'm going to add a little bit here. I'm glad that we hopped out of that Ethereum trade. I think there's going to be some more potential down momentum. There it goes, and you get another flush there on IBIT. A little bit of a chase. That's okay. If we pull back retest, then I'll just add some more here on IBIT. But we did get that break of this move here. Unfortunately that I wasn't paying attention to get that add, but you can see the volume really start to pick up as well too there, Obi.
Yeah, I think I guess someone asking in the chat, do you still use a stop loss when you buy 2 months 2 months out? I think definitely.
Absolutely,
You still
absolutely.
It doesn't necessarily change.
I don't like. For me, like that was in my earlier options trading days when I would let contracts expire worthless.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
I've done that a couple of times.
Yeah, I think that's
like, that's what I'm
people
risking. That's what I'll risk.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. But I got to that point. No, it's like no. When you start buying like 6, 7 contracts and you got again like 5 figures on the line, I'm not letting those expire.
That's
whatsoever. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. I gotta hop back. I gotta hop back into some of these options. And yeah, no, I was talking to a couple of people. I'm just like, I haven't really touched options that much since joining the floor.
Yeah.
And I was coming up with certain, I guess, strategies just based off of the intrinsic supply and demand of the chain itself.
Yeah.
And I was using like options charts to kind of do that.
Yeah.
And still wrapping my head around some of the time decay and some of the Greeks as well. But it was pretty decent. It wasn't too bad. But I definitely left it. At a place where I think I could have done a little bit better as well. I was definitely on to some certain things. But I wasn't able to sell naked options.
Yeah, well, you need the capital. That's why.
That's why I was just like, some of the best stuff that I saw was doing a little bit of that.
Selling?
Yeah, selling options. So
I mean, there's the whole world into selling. That's what I originally started with, was just to kind of build that consistent passive income. Right? That's why I really fell in love with them, because it's just how you can manipulate kind of the contracts to kind of just have built different strategies within just using the contracts, right? So that's what really led me to it. Even though Wayner says that the hybrid approach, we like dabbling in shares and in contracts as well too, right? I think a hybrid approach is really good for all levels of options trading. But I mean, I love it personally. I don't think it's as difficult as people make it seem. Yeah, exactly. So I was thinking about this. I don't know if it's the best analogy, but just think about it. You're still essentially, so think about a Honda compared to a Ferrari, right? And I'm not going to say that one's the other. But again, the Ferrari is still 4 wheels and a steering wheel at the end of the day. You just need to understand that there's more power. The torque is significantly more, right? So just understand that there's a little bit of fundamental changing to it, but it's still essentially the same vehicle. You just need to learn. It also
costs significantly more.
Exactly, right? You just need to learn how to adapt from vehicle A to vehicle B. It's essentially the same thing. There's just little metrics, right? You got different speeds in the Ferrari opposed to the Honda that you got rolling around and stuff like that. So that's just kind of how I think of it, right?
It's just an interesting way to put
it. It's just a matter of adapting, and it, like, as soon as you start putting on like contract trades and stuff like that, you'll understand the Greeks. They're not that complicated. Gamma, delta. There's obviously the advanced Greeks. What are they again? Oh, tell me what the advanced Greeks are, people in the chat. It's slipping my mind right now. But anyways, there's 2 other ones that aren't that familiar. It's the rate of change of certain things.
Zeta.
Pardon?
I don't know. I'm just.
No. It's not rho. It's not theta. No, yeah, exactly. Vema, and Charm. Thank you for all those. Vema and Charm. Those are the advanced ones. They're not as popularly used.
So that's So that measures the rate of change. Is that?
That's gamma.
Okay.
Gamma is essentially the rate of change is rate of change. So delta is your rate of change. Gamma is your delta's rate of change.
Okay.
Yeah. So
kind of like. Velocity, acceleration, and jerk.
Exactly.
So it's like
exactly. Right.
Nice,
so that's that.
That's
but I think Charm. I forget if Charm is actually the volatility or the gamma's rate of change, essentially. But Vema and Charm are the other 2 ones that don't really use. And rho, no one really trades off of rho. That is when how interest rates affect the options contracts as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. No, I didn't know that.
So Charm is the K of Gamma. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Yeah, fantastic stuff. Still short this. Got out of that ETHA trade. It's still short IBIT. You're still short CoreWeave as well too. How's that working out?
I mean, it's pretty much sideways right now, man. It's holding that bid on top of VWAP, We're holding in and around that 140 as well. The market's coming in. The market's looking pretty weak here. We said we got that strong selling, and then after that strong selling, the next 2-3 candles have been red here on both. Well, 2 candles have been red here on both the futures, ES, and the Nasdaq here. We got a super chat here from Siddharth. Joe, another one for you, saying, please get yourself stiletto burrito from Carbon Live Fire Mexican Grill.
Yeah, maybe that's in no, maybe that's in Chicago. I think he's referring that to. So I'm gonna write that down here.
Yeah, write that down.
I'm always good for a good burrito there. Stiletto burrito from Carbon Live Fire. I like the name of it. Carbon Live Fire. There we go. We got that written down. So yeah, thank you for that super chat. Much appreciated. We'll hit the money storm. And then we'll also hit the sirens as well too for that.
Yeah, he's saying in Chicago. All right.
Chicago. So we'll go check that out. Man,
I got to check it out too. I go to some of these places. So my younger sister lives there. So we're always going out to like some sort of restaurants and stuff. I have no idea, but she knows all the top spots. But some of these I have not heard. So
there's a lot of spots.
maybe something maybe I can bring something to the table next time I go over. But good stuff.
Yeah, we always go for it. I was at Taco Fest over the weekend.
How was that?
It was good, man. It's pretty expensive.
Who was there? Like who?
I mean, I was there. I don't know.
No. Like, in terms of like like the vendors.
Oh, Rancho Relaxo was there. Okay, I know you're familiar with that one.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Yep. There's a bunch, man. To be honest with you. So yeah, we there's like a Hotspot Jerk, had a jerk chicken one that was there. That was pretty good as well. And some of the other basic ones. So we went to town on some
Was
burrito.
Gus there? I know you like Gus.
Gus was not there, surprising. Gus Tacos was not there, surprising.
I would expect them to be there.
Right? So
solid. You've had. I was telling Neil, their hot sauce is absolutely amazing. The habanero.
I like Gus Tacos.
I got one of those little bottles. They sell the hot sauce separately, right?
Oh, do they? Yeah.
It's
good stuff.
And I went up to. I was like, I'm like, this is some really amazing hot sauce. I go up to buy some. And he's like $10. I was like, what? $10 for
$10 amazing.
Dude, what?
Yeah.
No, that's more than worth it. Is what I'm saying. I thought it was going to be way more. I thought it was going to be way more than just $10. I was like, oh boy. That was coming in real hot. Literally.
Real hot.
So, and what's coming in real hot right now is AMD continuing to sell off of that 175. So beautiful continuation happening there. Oh boy. Did you see AMD today, Sean? Absolutely crazy. Like the bid, 170 to 178s, almost 179s. And then now we're reverting. So I'm like, all right, well, I wasn't involved in the reversion, but no, I'm not in the reversion. The reversion happened at like 177s, and it's trading 174 change right now, 174 quarters. But that VWAP, I guess a little bit of a late scalp, but that's coming in quite nicely as well as of right now. So I do have to kind of get a little more comfortable with getting in to some of these later scalps in and around this VWAP as well. But it's coming in pretty nicely. Again, overextended on the day, leg down, consolidates VWAP, and nice little continuation happening as of right now. And we get market tailwind as well. So yeah, strong confluence for that move as we continue to sell off here on the day. AMD bringing it in real nice here, but Nvidia still holding above VWAP. SMCI still holding above VWAP. ARM, I know we don't look at this one very often, but ARM coming in quite nice as well. This is the AMD chart. This is the consolidation that I was talking about in and around VWAP. That's coming in at 175s. So ARM, take a look at this reversion. Absolutely solid. The bid comes in right in the open, and once sellers are in charge, oh boy, sellers stay in charge, and that's similar to what's happening here on AMD as well. You can see that NVIDIA distinctly different. NVDA still holding above VWAP, still holding very strong in terms of structure and pushing a little bit higher back into some of these prior weeks levels right here. So prior week high, that was in at 183.88. Today's high, 183.84. So not that far away, Joe, when it comes to that prior week high. So we know that back-to-back weeks have been pretty nice on NVIDIA. Just taking a look at this chart, look at that. Back-to-back jacks on this one. Ooh. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. Would you look at that? Just take a look at it.
Damn.
That's over 100% since those April lows. So that April bid, Liberation Day, we've gone about 112% to the highs on Nvidia. I mean, he did tell us to buy.
He did buy. He told us to buy.
It's not like he didn't tell us.
He told twice, not once.
But were you
twice.
listening?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah, I was.
Or did you listen?
I did. We made some decisions. Did you buy?
I did not.
Did you listen?
No.
Why?
Because I guess I wasn't listening hard enough.
You weren't listening hard enough.
I was just like, oh boy, is this really going to follow through? And it did follow through. And I was like, well, if something gets the presidential seal, I should give it some factor of confluence, regardless of how ridiculous
I highly doubt we'll ever experience anything like that again.
I mean, it does. You never know, right? Because even though the market doesn't necessarily repeat itself, as some players like to say, it definitely rhymes.
If Mark Carney tweeted right now and said, "Hey, buy Canadian equities," are you gonna do it?
If you're watching Canadian equities, we're already pushing all-time highs. Canadian equities are pretty high. So if he's telling us to buy at the highs, I don't know if that's really the best case scenario. But I like. If you guys look at the TSX, man, TSX is pretty much, let's pull up the TSX and show everybody what the Canadian markets are up to, because, oh boy, we're already on the weekly, and take a look at this. Beautiful. The TSX Composite Index. Boom. This is the weekly chart.
Right.
This is the weekly chart.
Let's go.
Would you like to see a monthly chart?
Yeah.
Look at the monthly chart. You're talking about the S&P 500? Hey, that's not the only place to invest.
All right.
The world is your oyster when you're a trader.
All right, then.
Look at this beautiful chart here. Our banks are strong. Our resources are strong. A lot of stuff is definitely strong in the Toronto Stock Exchange. So check us out sometime. Maybe provide some liquidity. I'm definitely waiting. But TSX is looking quite nice here. And oh boy, 138's coming back in on CoreWeave. Let's see if that can come in. Held bid on 138s over and over again. We've seen. Let's see if that buyer finally steps down with the futures coming in to the downside. What's going on, Adara?
Keep an eye here on MVLY, guys. Mobileye. GM reportedly planning some hiring here in a renewed push to help develop driverless vehicles. We know MVLY has partnered with them in the past for this type of initiative, so good look here for MVLY, getting initially at least a little bit of a push on this news. Back to you.
Very much. Oh, okay, so Canada, so United States. So we are, so here it is. Canada #1, China #2, Japan the third largest, UK the fourth, India the fifth, and Canada stock exchange sitting in sixth place there, guys. Sixth place. There we go. We can spit it out. But yeah, guys, make sure you hit that like and subscribe too, please. We don't obviously ask for too much, so just hit the like and subscribe.
You have the option to like and subscribe. This trade has unlimited upside.
There you go. So you essentially can't lose from just hitting that like and that subscribe. So yeah, just do the channel a favor, solid, and then maybe I can get something from Fabian as well too. So yeah, let's see. Come on, Bitcoin. See, that's the thing, right, about this trade is like, okay, we're not positioned horribly just right above the volume-weighted average price. Thank you, Tony. Much appreciated. And then sure enough, at the break of that support level is when the volume really kicks in. But we were just late, so this is a pretty bad ad right here. If we do take an additional leg down into 67.90, then maybe we'll be all right on that one there. So yeah, okay. So Tegan, Joey, been sitting by the pool. Nice, yeah. It's a beautiful day. I don't know where you're located, but yeah, it's a nice warm one here in Toronto. We're kind of going through we got another heat dome, which I love. I thrive in that type of environment. So yeah, we're having fun with that. And then also, so Tony, humble gets love. Much appreciated. Thank you, Tony. As always, thank you very much for that. And then, yeah, Coinbase, maybe putting in a potential bottom for me, intraday Coin L. So that's a good signal right here, guys. Give it some time to turn around considering the momentum to the downside. But what we can do with Coin L here, Coin L, is just wait. So as long as we don't crack that, then maybe we can get that move back towards the volume-weighted average price, and maybe even a little bit further. I think that'll be a bonus, but primary target being VWAP. And then if you continue north of that, then I think we'll be all right. So yeah, that's what we got going on there. Bitcoin heading towards that 68 level. I mentioned 67.90 is going to be that final target, and then I'll just take out 90% of the position and leave the rest remaining. That ether run was slightly it's over now. It is exhausted too. I think this was a little bit of a push, but then when we went over the call walls, we just identified some level at 33, and then our high was 33.04, and then sure enough, we're heading back in towards the volume weighted average price. And just keep an eye out on this as well too, right? So we have a massive gap up. That'll be dangerous if it filled. I don't want that whatsoever, considering my average is around 2760 or something. So we're in around this concentration, whatever it may be. So yeah. We don't want that break. We definitely don't want this pre-market low to break, because then if it does, I'm going to suspect that this gap is going to be filled now, considering Tom Lee is just buying this stuff hand over fist. But CoinL, potential good long there, Obi.
Is crypto running as of right now?
No, it's coming in. It's starting to pull back in a little bit here.
Back, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, market's taking a bit of a breather as well. So I do have a few names on watch. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Juan in the chat saying, Joe and Obi, look at GM. All right. Let's take a quick look at this one and see if this one is having a, I guess, good morning. GM, let's see what they're up to. Don't want to see the 1 minute. Don't care about that. But let's see. Okay, all right. So there's a bit of a shake and bake. Seems like maybe some news happening here on GM as of right now. Don't really know what it is just yet. But yeah, lick grab of the lows and then ripping right back up. So nice little mean reversion on a shorter time frame happening on GM. Does Ford catch anything there? No, nothing really on Ford. So it might be just GM related, it would seem. So yeah, no. Look at DoorDash saying fun with Emilina? Okay, cool. Let's take a quick look at Dash and see what that's up to. I know this is earnings day 3. Yeah, day 3 on this one. So more of the same. We sold off on earnings day 1, sold off on earnings day 2, and then maybe some more selling with finally a little bit of a bid catching up to on this one there. So pretty much sideways on the day, but the bigger picture, we're selling off below these earnings reaction levels and holding near some of those as well. 251.30s is the day low. Currently trading at 258s, 258.80. So yeah, what a reversion of that selling off of the open there. So DoorDash, nice on that one. Tilray, let's take a quick look at Tilray, TLRY. We know that MSOS and a lot of these weed names are definitely on watch. There it is, breaking through high at A. Oh boy, is Tilray gonna hit $1 almost? It's trading at $82, sorry, 82 cents, 82 and a half. Is the high there. 81.8195 is the high as of right now on Tilray, attempting to push a little bit higher here. Let's take a look at MSOS. I know these weed names are definitely on watch. Yeah, look at that. Strong push off of that catalyst intraday. Coming in and around that 1120 mark and still trending to the upside, breaking past some of those highs. So yeah, weed names definitely going there. So good shout out on that one there. Look at DoorDash. Yeah, we looked at DoorDash already. Shake and fake. Yeah, maybe. Shake and fake. Tesla VWAP broken, eh? Okay, all right. Let's take a quick look at VWAP. Wow, what a beautiful reversion happening on Tesla there. We talked about the first initial 15-minute red candle, and we've only had reds since then. So, yeah, sellers kind of showing themselves after some aggressive bidding. We bid pretty aggressively all the way up 3.7% off of the opening range low for about a 12.5-point move on Tesla. And yeah, it does pull right into VWAP, but hasn't really broken VWAP on my chart. So I don't know what you're looking at, but holding that VWAP pretty well. 341.73 is VWAP. Take a look at the futures as well. We're consolidating near these structure lows here, so we're going to continue watching some of those to see if that comes in. But oh boy, this was a bit of an extension, and we're breaking out of some of these highs. We know that Tesla, when it catches a leg, it can definitely catch a long leg, and that's exactly what it did to the upside off of the open. Let's see if it catches just as long of a leg to the downside. We've reverted about 30% of the action down into VWAP, and it's holding VWAP as of right now, so beautiful stuff there. Apple, we talked about, is this a false break of the opening range high? As of right now, absolutely yes, as sellers step right back in and bring it back towards the mean here. 227.32s is VWAP, currently trading at 27.83, so not that far away. Just only about 40, 50 pennies away from that one there. Amazon, yeah, remember when I was like, oh, what's false breaking with that aggressive selling that came in when we looked at Amazon at its consolidation highs. So yeah, nothing too crazy in terms of a move, but we get to 222s, false break of those highs, and then pull right back into VWAP for a few pennies right there. So yeah, decent scalps. I would say nothing too crazy though. Happening as of right now. So Crocs, I guess someone saying look at Crocs. What was that one? I missed that one there. Look at LRY. I think you meant Tilray, TLRY. So we already looked at that one there. Let's take a quick look at, okay, so Lord of the Swords saying GM announced they are restarting their self-driving program per Bloomberg. Okay, so that'll definitely maybe give us a little bit of a shake and bake, and that's what it feels like it's doing. So what was the other one? Lily, I think that one we were going to look at LLY as well. So that was one of them. Oh boy, wow, what a reversion on this one, man. Bit of a missed opportunity there. Day 3 of earnings, so more of the same. Sellers stepping in, coming into those same areas where sellers were pretty adamant on day 1 and day 2 and catching a bit of a sell back down to the downside and definitely catching a bit of market tailwind as well. So, oh boy, that's coming in quite nicely here on the day. So yeah, a little bit of a look on what you guys are trading. So good stuff there. Nice look on some of those names. But yeah, didn't really get involved in any of those just yet. I like that AMD reversion, but that's way too far. I don't want to chase it down here, 174s, man. But the market, the ES and the Nasdaq, well, the Nasdaq first is coming into its lows. So let's see if we crack a little bit lower there across the board. That's what I'm looking for here. Micron as well, selling off and giving back that aggressive bid that we had in the pre-market as well on earnings guidance getting raised.
Yeah, I've seen that there, Obi. Yeah, good point. And we talked about Micron before as well too. So, all right, yeah, we're still sitting in these trades. Let's see what else we can cook up throughout this session. Maybe we got 20 minutes left, so. If there's anything specific that you guys want to look at, possible head and shoulders here on TQ, not the cleanest shoulder 1, shoulder 2, but you're going to break up some key support levels and some pre-market levels as well that we're running into, and now you can see the momentum start to pick up. So volume slowly starting to increase right there. Let's go to the actual NAS 100 and see what we got going on from that standpoint. Fly. Do daily. Yeah, so there you go. We just touched a new all-time high today, a nice quiet one. Yeah, that is a new all-time high, and then now we're starting to pull back a little bit, up over 30% off of those April lows. So, yeah, some pretty good looks in 43%, 43.5%. Adara, what do you got for us?
Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. That's my bad. But I did have some news. In case you guys missed it, Donald Trump released a post here on Truth Social. A statement from Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, gold will not be tariffed. So GLD pushing to the upside here. Back to you.
Ooh, all right. So is that the golden standard?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But gold catching a bit of a bid. Thank you, Adara, for that. On that push up, we already gapped down a little bit earlier, and I know that this was definitely in play on a little bit on Friday with that shake and bake that happened intraday, that with the news coming out in and around 2 o'clock there, and we got that continuation or to the downside. We got a bit of a gap down continuation off of the open, but reverting pretty nicely as of right now on GLD as it catches a bid with expanding volume. Can we get to high a day here? Oh boy. Waiting. Let's wait and watch and see. 309.65s is high a day, and gold currently, or GLD currently trading at 309.07. So not that far away there. Let's see if we can break through that opening range high. That wick low from prior day is all the way at 311. So if we're looking for a bit of a mean reversion, guys, I think we might be poised for one. Let's just see. I think we might have already done it, to be honest. I'm going to put an anchored VWAP right here to the shake and bake. And that comes in all the way. Never mind. That comes in all the way up here at 311s. But that gap down, that's not really considering that gap down. I got to take a look at gold futures as well to get a better look at this and see where that anchored actually lies. But yeah, interesting move here on gold. Let's see if sellers stay dominant on the day. Hasn't really broken through that high day just yet. But maybe we're poised to. No idea. But the volumes definitely coming in if volume sustains. If we get strong volume push through the high a day, if we hold above, if price holds above, I think we're poised for a little bit more of a move, maybe a reversion back into some of these levels from last week where we did get that aggressive volume coming in on that shake and bake. But nice look there on gold. But the market's tanking, dude. The market's pulling back in. So
Yeah, big time.
no real look over there.
Big time. Yeah, so some indecision prints at the lows. You can see that we snapped the VWAP there, broke through some key support levels. So I'll just show you guys exactly what I'm looking at. So there it goes. You break some of these levels here, break some support level there, nice V-shaped reversal. Whatever this pop was, that was so, I'm so curious to actually find out what this was, if it was anything at all, right? So there it goes, boom, you break through that, and now you're heading towards some of the lows of the days, and you're getting a bounce off of them. The Nas has a little bit more of a traverse to that specific target, but at the end of the day, I think at some point we might crack that. I could be wrong, and I hope that I am wrong, just for the sake of all the longs. And it's nothing bad, right? Essentially, it's a sideways day. Look what the Qs have been trading within a $3 range for the majority of this session, right? We only got about 2.5 hours left, a little bit less than that. So that's not too bad. You can't get too mad about that. Dog days of August, as I mentioned before. So yeah, just be patient on what's going on. Bitcoin not breaking down through that 68 level and heading towards those pre-market lows like I've kind of anticipated, but that's okay. We won't complain. We take a small loss on that one. So if we do get stopped out, that is. So we'll just keep monitoring that. As for Momad, yeah, see you later, brother. Unfortunately, you can't do that here. So yeah, we're just gonna do this. I am kind, right? So I'll give you 30 minutes for timeout. That's not bad, right? 30 minutes, you can't complain about that. That way you can not spam the other chat. You can go in and join those boys as they go over some of Katina Man and Neil's trades, and sure enough, they'll be putting up enough numbers for you over there. But for me personally, Obi, I don't know. Do you have anything, is there any earnings reports that you're looking forward to? Any specific names? Any key setups that you kind of been over the weekend that you kind of been game planning and
I gotta check, but nothing right off the
top of your head.
Off the top of my head, it was coming into the Monday again. Today I had Monday.com on watch. I don't know how that one did. That one gapped down, I think. On their earnings. I had a bunch of earnings day 2 plays. We saw a trade desk. I didn't see how that one did. Let's take a quick look at the trade desk. Wow, gold is actually attempting to push right now. TTD was it was earnings day 2. Yeah, earnings day 2. So okay, we did get a pull into anchored VWAP and pull back in. So that was an interesting move. I think TWLO, Tulio was the other one. Oh boy, what a beautiful continuation. Selling day 1, selling day 2 as well. And I think another one was GoDaddy, GDDY. And I was looking for more of the same. Okay, so no real selling happening on this one. What was the other one? Par as well. I think I was watching this. That's not really up to par just yet. But that is breaking day low, so that's interesting here. But nothing too crazy just yet. It seems like that trade desk and the Tulio were the ones to kind of watch out for. Anchored VWAP on trade desk, and then Tulio just right off of the open. Continuation, breaking below prior day's range, maybe giving you the ability to risk into VWAP, or if you really want to risk even higher, maybe getting short 98s, 99s, and risking that back through 100 as well. So many different ways to kind of to skin that move there, but beautiful continuation happening. So yeah, a bit of a missed part there on some of these earnings day 2 names for me. Yeah. But it is what it is. I had a couple names on watch as my top plays on the day, so I'm just waiting to see if those come into fruition.
Absolutely. It's funny. I don't know if you guys see me. I just had like a light bulb moment. I'm just a little slow. That's for sure. But anyways, so I told you guys before I was attempting to swing some MU. This is where I was long, and then I got stopped out right here. But sure enough, my target was just a little bit above this pure gap fill, and then yeah, I just never got back into it. So this one we took like a $300-400 loss or something on it. The VIX we took a couple $100 loss on that too. So that I closed last week. But that's small stuff, right? When we put on trades, we're looking for significantly more than that. So yeah, we can't complain about that whatsoever. But yeah, as I'm looking at it, I'm like MU. Oh, that's right, you dirty dog, you You stop me out, and then sure enough, you make that move. But so apparently, it has the exact same level of fugaziness from an intraday standpoint to a daily standpoint as well.
That's why some of those stocks wait, Micron is not an ADR, is it?
No, it's not.
But I think some of those chip names, the way they gap around, just looking at Micron, looking at the daily chart, the way it gaps around like that, it's pretty aggressive.
Ugly.
So you definitely don't want to be on the wrong side of that gap. So it's just like the risk just becomes, I guess, a percentage of ATR instead of like a fixed daily structure, or like a risk like that. I don't know. But
for me, it was. For me, that's what I had, right? So like I was just playing a specific signal, and I told myself if it cracks and holds the lower end of that print, then I'll just hop out of the trade. And sure enough, it was good that I did, because it dropped another like $5-10, and that would have been a bad time. But I never got back into that one and just kind of focused on everything. You can't catch them all unless you're Ash, I guess.
Unless you're Ash Ketchum, then that's your one main goal.
Favorite version?
The original.
Yellow.
Oh, like that.
Yeah.
I had ruby, but I would go with red.
You would go with red?
Yeah, I like yellow though.
Like
Yellow's what you can walk around with Pikachu.
Pikachu would follow you around in that one,
You can walk around with Pikachu.
The yellow version was obviously one of my favorite. Blue version, because my favorite color. Blastoise was my favorite.
Blastoise was your favorite. Okay,
Blastoise
I like
easily my favorite.
I'm very much a
Blastoise,
Charizard person. I'm very much red. My favorite color is red.
Okay.
So I do like Charizard as well.
Yeah, those were good times.
Those are definitely good times. I remember. Was it waking up every? Is this Sunday morning? Yeah, Sunday morning for the Cartoon Network run.
Or is it YTV?
YTV and Cartoon Network.
Yeah, Cartoon Network. Yeah,
those were the ones.
Those were good times there.
Exactly.
Yeah, some good stuff there. And I don't know if did you ever hook up your Game Boy to your N64 and play Pokemon Stadium?
No. I played Pokemon Snap on my N64. I remember that. The one where you take pictures.
Remember that. How do I remember that game? Yeah. Pokemon Stadium. Take pictures on Snap? I never played that.
Pokemon Snap. Yeah. So you would capture them by snapping them. And there's different ways you would unlock like different Pokemon to show up. So like there's ways you can catch them. So it's kind of like
Go and stuff?
Kind of ish. Yeah.
That was crazy.
It was fun.
Yeah, wow. How did I remember Pokemon Stadium? That was probably 27 years ago.
Oh boy.
Wow. Yeah, crazy. Wow, crazy stuff. Anyways, back to trading. We've got about 10 minutes left here, guys.
Should have saved some of my. You still have those? Sorry. You still have I still have my cards in my book, like the sleeves.
Do you? No.
Yeah. So I did like an inventory check. Was it like a couple years ago? Just taking the whole book and just. They're not like what do you call it? They haven't been PSA'd. I like in terms of quality,
of them,
but what I did was I just cross-referenced them with like just whatever non-PSA cards on eBay, and I did like an inventory check like that.
So do you think you have a solid inventory?
I think I have a decent inventory, but like I remember having a hollow Charizard that I traded. I remember having a Blastoise that I traded. I wasn't very good at I guess
quality.
Yeah, keeping the quality of some of those cards. And one of my best cards as well was I still kind of hold this against one of my best friends. We were kind of over at his house. We were just kids, and him and my sister were playing Pokemon cards. And I was like, "Okay, you guys play with these. I'm just gonna be back." And me and my dad, we went to go grab food or whatever for the party. And by the time we came back, these guys had glued my Team Rocket holographic Zapdos to a piece of cardboard. And then I was just very furious. I was like, what is going on? And then I had to peel it off, and the backing of the card just came off with it. And I was just like, oh my God, first edition. First edition,
That's
holographic,
crazy.
Team Rocket, Zapdos. And I told him, I was like, you owe me one. And he's like, all right, I'll get it to you.
Today?
I have no idea. I think a few $100 for something that's good condition. But I told him, I was like, listen, buddy, I want PSA 10. find me that card. That's what you owe me. And he's like,
talking
all right, I'll get it to you as a wedding gift. And I was like, okay, I don't know when I'm gonna get that, but he's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna get it to you as a wedding gift. I'm like, all right, you know, you can. I'll probably wait on that for a while. We'll see.
You never know. Anything can come your way, Obi. Especially,
exactly.
I know you're out on the town all the time. So you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You never know. But guys, as for Reddit, back into these markets, that's it. Obi is
day trader
married.
cut.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Obi is married. He's already married, essentially.
Married to the market.
To the market, exactly. So yeah, here's Reddit, guys, kind of just moving in its own realm. Really nice work here from $224 with a low of around $211. So that's a pretty nice move. Let's zoom out and see what we got going on from a daily. I'm also all out of that IBIT trade. I mentioned that 90 was my specific target, and then we had the ability to hit it. But here it goes. This is kind of giving me, I don't want to compare the two, but this is giving me Microsoft vibes here, guys. Earnings report. Boom, gap and go, and then now you're going to test this previous all-time high. Let's take a look at Microsoft to see what it's up to, and this is just what I'm referring to, right? Obviously, it's not the same, but boom, gap and just absolutely gone. That's insane, in my opinion. And we're still holding this trend line relatively well, right? So that's a pretty good look here in Softy. We can't complain about that. We'll hop in and see what we had going on Bitcoin. So yeah, we go 1 for 1 on this one. We tried the short earlier, didn't work out for us. We tried again, not the best entry nor the best execution, especially buying it right at these lows. You want to kind of get involved right at the break of that support level right here. So you can see that we open up right below that support level, and then you get that additional flush lower. And that would have drastically increased risk to reward as well too if you get in around that area and those specific prices. But sure enough, we did sell right here. We wait for the pullback, never really out of the money, and then sure enough, right into 90 is where I had my primary target, and we were fortunate enough to take that. So, we got to a $5 quid. What's up, my friend? Obi, I've got 32 holo Pokemon cards from 2 base sets. How much you think they'd be worth?
Yeah, I replied and I was like, oh boy, yeah, that's definitely worth some coin. If you have holos from base set, and especially if they're good quality, I'd probably say that get them PSA'd, like send them in for a PSA. Sure, it's going to cost you a little bit, but especially if they're good quality, they're gonna send them back to you in a nice case and PSA rated as well. So they're actually going to hold some value over time. So that's what I would probably do with those, especially if they're base set good quality cards, and even if they're not that great quality. Like even if you can get like something above a 6 or a 7 rating on them, they could still fetch a decent penny. But that's how I would preserve mine, I think. Sure. But I have a couple of cards that I know I'm waiting to kind of send in as well. So.
Ooh, okay. Let's see what Eli. You got anything else? You're still sitting on that CoreWeave trade.
Yeah,
there? Is it breaking?
I mean, it's weaving some sort of price action on top of this VWAP, but yeah, we'll see what it does.
All right.
It's not what I'm looking for just yet, but like I said before, there's a held bid on 138s. Let's see if that buddy on 138 steps down. Market tailwind is definitely on our side. And like I said, we've been on a bit of a run-up multiple days on CoreWeave. Decent reversion happening on that one. So we'll see. If the buyer steps down, then I'll be happy. If not, then I'll be happy as well because I'm going to be looking at the next trade soon enough. So we'll see how that one comes in. But 137.75 is the consolidation low right here. This consolidation wick low from this morning. So yeah, if we print below 137.70s, we might be poised for a little bit lower. That's what I'm potentially looking for. But yeah, got to respect this VWAP hold if it lasts here for long enough. The reversion on AMD was quite nice, so I'm watching that. 174 is holding right now, so I'm going to be watching to see if VWAP holds any sort of significance. It did a little while before where we attempted to push above this 175 halves, and we couldn't really get too far past that. So that's what I have on watch. Nothing else too crazy. The markets are coming down pretty nicely, breaking below opening range lows, breaking below some of these consolidation lows, but CoreWeave hasn't really broken that bid just yet, so we'll see.
Okay. All right. Good look. Eli Lilly. Yeah. Let's take a look at this name. Dara, did you say you were trading Eli Lilly today, or no? You were CoreWeave and
I was involved in Eli Lilly today. Yeah, I mean, I'm out of it now. I did have a decent version short from the top to the bottom. I was in the long early, got wicked out. Probably I don't really check my P&L intraday. I think I'm probably slightly positive on it, but I can talk about it more during the recap.
Yeah, very nice. Okay, so yeah, so she was short somewhere. Really good looks, multiple signals too as well. You can see these inverteds being printed and you get that move right back into the volume weighted average price. And you can see that you failed to establish a new high of the day, so a lower high right here. And then you break through some support levels and establish a new low. So yeah, opening print strong, pulls it back, and then no continuation within the strength. So SMCI, yeah, let's take a look at SMCI. A couple minutes left here, and then we'll do a quick trade review, even though I've only put on 4. Nothing substantial. SMCI, see what we got going on there. Super microcomputer, not too bad here, I guess, right? So as the market is south of the volume weighted average price, you can see we're trading north of that. Nice shelf here as well too, so just be cautious of that. If you do get a pull back into there, you would want those levels to hold. Let's zoom out and see what we got going on from a daily. Yeah, see, so where is this, the previous? I don't even know if that's all-time high, but there it is. Still down 63% from that previous pivot back in 2024, February of 2024. So that seems to be the peak for SMCI. Maybe it's just plateaued a little bit earlier. So that's okay. We'll see what we got going on. But but this trend is still intact here, right? So just keep an eye on this until that snaps. Then maybe possibly, or it has already. So now you're on the backside of this. So just be cautious on what's going on there as well, too, guys. So yeah. All right. We'll take a look at what we got going on throughout the session. We were short Bitcoin here. Didn't work out for us. We'll go into the 5-minute time frame. You can see these are short add, get stopped out, short add a little bit here, and then yeah, it's continuing to move to the south side. But we just took it all off at 90s. Don't really want to be short Bitcoin. So those were the 2 trades that I had on IBIT, and then Ether was 3 trades on Ether. That were pretty good, so we can't complain about that. Good execution. Obviously, you can use more size on them. But here you go, long, add, boom, 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 boom. Consolidation phase, add at the lower ends of the range, and then we just slowly take some off there. And then sure enough, we get stopped out the last remaining. And then I was like, all right, well, if it's this strong, maybe we'll get a little bit of a continuation off of some key signals. But sure enough, that didn't work out. As soon as I've seen the momentum pick up and the volume pick up, I'm like, hey, yeah, it's most definitely time to get out of this trade. And thankfully, we did there, Obi. So you really only traded one name throughout the whole session. So.
Yeah, no, I'm always about just focusing on the stocks and the ideas that I think are top for me, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And so far today, CoreWeave was one of my top ideas here. Again, it was doing the day 3 gap. It was doing a little bit of a continuation move on a bigger picture, maybe reversion on a higher time frame as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on CoreWeave, and so that's why I wanted to get involved with it. But yeah, a lot of missed trades as well on my part. AMD reversion, that was definitely a little playbook, and that came in pretty nicely. I guess one could argue that the futures reversion as well, that came in probably the best, as we 100% revert back down through opening prices on both the ES and the Nasdaq. So the Qs coming in quite nicely, I guess, on that one. Didn't really see that kind of a sentiment or a full-on reversion like that on any of the Mag 7s, I would say. Apple reversion to VWAP was nice off of the false break of opening range high. That one that came in quite nicely. But again, like you said, can't catch them all unless your name is Ash Ketchum. Exactly. And with that, that's pretty much what I've done. Still waiting for this one, Buddy. We'll see if Buddy at 138 steps down or not. If it doesn't, that's perfectly fine as well. I'll be looking for the next trade. But yeah, it's 2 o'clock, and yeah, I'll probably won't see you guys until the end of the week, Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah.
Friday. See you. We'll be on Friday, guys. Thank you very much. You'll see me here momentarily on the green screen with the rundown. But yeah, thanks. Good stuff there,
great
Obi.
Session once again.
Yeah, exactly. Once again, and hopefully you get that CoreWeave short, probably around 2 o'clock, or it is 2:30. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little bit of a dump there. But guys, we're headed over to the big boys, Sean and Neil.
Easy.
Hey, welcome everybody. I know it was a market to the downside.